Switched off. Yeah, I could turn the audio on.
No, I'm not particularly complaining. I just wanted to like make you aware of that. If you were
Well, we
deliberately,
may as well make it a Dirdle shitpost stream. Everyone loves those.
I have no idea what everyone's opinion of those is, to be honest.
Okay, so
Oh
I
god.
could turn the audio on.
No, I'm not particularly complaining. I just wanted to like make you aware of that. If you were
Well, we
deliberately.
may as well make it a Dirdle shitpost stream. Everyone loves
Okay, now I have to
Oh
mute
Christ!
the
Now we're
stream.
echoing.
I have no idea what everyone's opinion. Now I've got to mute the stream lest I hear my own
Okay,
horrible
so-
voice.
Your voice is actually quite pleasant to listen to, I have to say. But,
I have very strong feelings to the contrary on that matter.
Sorry, you're allowed to carry on feeling things that are wrong. It's fine.
Now I've got to mute the stream lest I hear my own
The
horrible
echoing is getting a bit much, though. Your voice is actually quite pleasant to listen
It's
to.
like I can hear
I
10
have
people
very strong
speaking.
feelings.
Okay. Yeah, I've solved the echoing on my end, at least. Alright. Well, everyone else has gone silent. Have I broken something?
No,
I'm just listening to my own echoes, thinking, wow.
You have the opposite opinion that your voice is amazing. What can I say? We're birds of a feather on that matter. So right now I have stone bricks on the left of this transport belt and copper on the right, and I'd like to see if I can figure out a way of separating them. As far as I know, there's like right now I can't build it. I think it just separates left from right. And a picker-upper will take from both sides, so that one.
If picker-uppers take from both sides, then that seems like a terrible idea to put two things on one conveyor belt.
It kind of was, but I wanted to save conveyor belts. Like, look at all this conveyor belt that I'd have to build if I had them on separate conveyor belts. Now, usually you put things on both sides for good reasons. Like, here, for instance, I have iron on one side and coal on the other. And that way, there's always iron available at this back one. That'll be a string delay on that, I guess, but it's necessary to have the back, like the far side. If there were coal on both, this could end up with just coal, and then it would stop working, and it would never start working again. So I fixed it.
So what, can you only feed a thing with one conveyor belt?
I could feed it with more than one, but there's like a limit on the number of spaces I can put around the thing, obviously. There's practical limits as well, like I don't want to build a whole bunch of different conveyor belts and make them.
Well, given what little I know of this game, I feel like automating the construction of conveyor belts should be somewhere.
Oh yeah, I have
on
automated the construction of conveyor belts already. I have shit tons of conveyor belts, but
well, then
placing them down is irritating.
Oh, okay.
You know, minimize your effort. So if I placed a conveyor like horizontally here, they would all get put onto the near side in alternating fashion.
I'm not sure I understand what you're describing, but I will probably see as you try to do it.
Well, I may as well. No, okay, that's interesting. Apparently if I do this...
So you build more and more high-level things, and
I believe there is an end goal, like build a spaceship or something.
Yeah, you're trying to get off this planet you're stranded on. You build a spaceship. Much like Alpha Centauri, the pollution causes the native life to attack you. Eventually, it hasn't happened yet. I might have accidentally set this world to peaceful, but I'm not sure about that. So, you need to build guns and stuff as well. Anyway, it looks like I've already accidentally built myself. Sort of. I've got the stone bricks to come on. Hold on. I don't think this is possible right now.
Is there not like a built-in splitting tool? Like
There almost certainly is, but it's not available to me yet on the tech tree.
Okay.
Let me have a
They're
look.
trying to improvise something without the thing that's just supposed to do it.
Mass
Might be a
transport,
pain in the arse.
belt, express transport, express. Stack inserter, material processors.
Oh god, that's a lot of things.
A lot of them just seem to be upgrades, inserter capacity bonus, for instance, a whole bunch of tiers. All this alcohol isn't doing me any good. Who'd have thought? Simulators,
Au contraire, I think the alcohol is doing a power of good.
Well, I can
would we
resist
even
anything
be
except
here without it?
temptation. You know, I'm not actually seeing anything that splits the left side of a conveyor belt from the right. There are splitters, but they just split a conveyor belt's contents 50-50 onto two conveyor belts.
Okay, so they don't split from the sides, they just take half of what's on each side and put
It's
it
just
on
each
two
time
separate
something
conveyors.
comes into them, they randomly assign it to one or the other. Or possibly they alternate.
That doesn't sound like what we're looking for.
Oh, hold on, I'm being silly. The pickers. Chest. We'll just use the old Minecraft thing. So you can make things yourself. It just takes a while. Realistically, I should be making science myself all the time because I haven't got an automatic science set up yet. There's no reason to not be making something.
Yeah, you've only got so much like attention space.
Yeah, but you can both be making things and placing things. Okay, so if
Okay,
this
so you can just like queue up a bunch of stuff.
when it's powered, we'll start picking things up. But I think if I try to put them into a chest that already contains one copper in every slot, it'll only be able to pick up copper.
That seems like a very hacky solution, but
It's exactly what you do in Minecraft when you want to place stuff into a chest quickly. You just place one of the... Right, and then I can place another... I call them pickers, but the game calls them inserters. And that'll take things out of the chest. That should give me a supply of copper. Now, the only problem is that if things get taken out of the chest, there's a gap.
yeah, that seems like what would happen. Does it take stuff out by like stack? Or does it move like one unit of stuff at a time?
It'll move one unit at a time, and I believe it'll start at the top left. But the problem is when it runs out of, like, if the copper mine ever slows down for whatever reason, it'll start putting bricks in there instead. Let's just... You know what? I'm just going to put one up for now, let that start separating. It'll stop because it can't put any more copper on this short conveyor belt, whereas this one will. Yeah, it took out these two at the end. That's a bit troubling. Still, so far, so good. I'll just do the sensible thing and add a separate stone conveyor belt.
That certainly seems like the easiest solution to me, but...
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It took like 12 seconds. It would have been really useful if I had come up with a way to separate different materials, though. That would be pretty convenient. Because it could have come in handy later.
It would have effectively like doubled your conveyor belt capacity.
Exactly, yeah. Cave there. Guess it's too close to the ocean. Or whatever. Pavement is good because you walk faster on it. Much like the Minecraft mod better than wolves, except that I'm not dying over and over before I get to it. Like, the original Better Than Wolves mod was just a few things that were better than wolves. And then for a while it was all about automation and it was really cool. And I loved the mod during that era. And then it just became about suffering. And the mod author just got really into making extra hardcore modes to make the game more difficult. And that was all he did. For like, forever. Not that I'm salty about it or anything.
That? I don't know, maybe.
Might be a little salty about that. Alright, so now I'm just picking up copper and bricks and putting them in bricks. Let's go back to this plating. Well, to this copper factory, I guess. Turn copper ore into copper plates. Then I want to put both coal and copper into each of these things. So we're going to want a conveyor belt with coal on one side and copper on the other, same as we've got up here. Probably we're going to want a larger coal pickup zone
Is the ratio 1-to-1? Do you only need one? Like...
Well, it's not 1-to-1, but it doesn't matter as long as they're both on separate sides of the conveyor belt.
And as long as you've got more than enough of both.
Like, if you look at this iron one here for a few minutes, I'll briefly explain what's going on. So this inserter, if there's a gap in front of it, will take coal from behind it and put it on the far side of this belt. This iron belt from the iron mine will put iron ore on the near side of the belt only. Coal is consistently backed up all the way along here, so there's always a surplus of coal. And whenever an iron becomes available, these inserters will put it into the furnace. Because their logic is that if there's a gap in front of them, they'll take something to go in that gap. Right? There are two gaps in the furnace, one for fuel and one for ore. If there's a gap in the ore, they'll take an ore and put it in. A gap in the fuel, take the fuel and put it in. What is going on
So
here?
it looks like...
Is this one not powered? Is my power brick? No? Doing anything? Oh, hold on. Is this box full?
It looks like they're all working to me. Oh, no, it looks like they're all working to me.
Up here, this one that's supposed to be powering the assembly belt assembler. Is
Oh,
doing
the thing
nothing
above that,
instead.
okay.
Anyway, let's get in ahead of the wildlife and put down some gun turrets.
That's what we're really here for. Slaughter the local creatures.
The south is more vulnerable. Forest seems like it would block most creatures.
Really?
I'll demonstrate.
How big are these creatures that they like can't walk between trees?
Well, they're the same size as me, and I can't walk between trees in most of this forest.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe they'd be able to. It's kind of loose in places. I should build some actual walls. I believe I researched that, but I'm not sure how they get assembled exactly. Oh, you make them from stone bricks. Well, that's easy.
I don't know, how regular are the attacks from
Nothing. I
wildlife?
haven't got any yet in this world. No idea why. Why is stone...
Maybe you're just not big enough. I don't know.
It could be. This is the stone mine. It's stone bricks. Probably I'll have to automate its coal supply at some point, but...
There's a very sparse looking conveyor belt producing those bricks.
There's not really any hurry.
I guess. You probably have more than enough, don't you?
Exactly so. Okay. Let's move this radar. And why has production of Oh, because production of cogs has ground. Oh, okay. Okay, it looks like the reason it was stopped was because production of cogs wasn't going. Why production of cogs wasn't going? Well, whatever.
Yeah, I can't tell from looking at my end.
It's a mystery I'll solve later. Oops. Okay, fantastic. Abundance of copper to go with our abundance. Just get rid of this. Anyway, to just put things back on.
Nope, it's going to clutter your inventory forever.
It's like, I guess what I have to do is just put them all back in the chest. Put down the picker again, but in reverse. No, I should have just done that to begin with, shouldn't I? Just turned it round without picking it up. You may safely assume that Whenever something is going wrong in this game, it's because I'm retarded.
I will be careful to always blame the streamer.
I say it's the correct position. Okay, so the conveyor belt isn't quite far up. Alright, we now have absolutely massive production of copper plates. Oh wait, no we don't, because we're not taking them out of the bloody furnaces. I think I'm making this game harder than it strictly needs to be.
I see how you could easily be doing that to yourself.
My method for doing this is, as previously noted, being retarded.
You just fumble long enough and you'll probably get there eventually.
Oh fuck, I forgot to put all that science I created in the science machine. I'm complaining that it doesn't do me much good if I don't use it. Electricity shortfall, or does that not look for some other reason? Ah, I do have an electricity shortfall. Okay, I've finally built enough that I need another engine. How do you link these things up?
That's a graph.
I seem to recall just being able... you should just be able to connect them. I'm not sure how. That's not it.
I'm honestly not sure what you're trying to achieve. You've got what I assume is a generator that you stood next to, and then you want to make it better, or are you just building another one?
I want to attach a second generator to it, so that I have twice as much power. And I remember seeing a hint somewhere about different ways you could connect generators, but now lost it.
So you've got a generator, and then I guess there's a furnaces to the right of it, and then there's
so boilers on the right, pump pulls water.
Is there a correct ratio for those, or do you just slap them together and it'll work?
Same as the regular furnaces, the inserters will only add coal when there's a vacancy.
No, I mean you've got 3 furnaces attached to one power generator. Is that a
oh, okay.
thing
I
you
think I only need 2, but I guess I could just build another entirely. Build another pump. I guess I could have one on the opposite side without taking up the base car. Up there. Short pump. Where did I put all my regular iron? There it is. Tons of the stuff. Alright, and then have a second engine for the network.
Cool.
Look at all that glorious pollution.
Nature deserves it.
Alright, so if I now go and look at the electricity graph, much better. We have 100% satisfaction. That means a little short of electricity. We'll look into more efficient methods of generation.
I guess they'll probably get better with tech as well.
Absolutely. Done. 3 more of those. The ability to build. Oh, you can build underground. Oh, we can build splitters now as well. Let's test how those work.
Those sound useful.
It's not gonna. Still taking a grab of that box. Okay, so here we have a stream that's diverse.
All those copper furnaces on the left look like they don't have any fire in them. Are they not going?
None of them are on right now.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure that was deliberate, or at least understood.
Yeah, because these ones can't. Like, they're all going.
Because there's coal and there's copper there,
There's
and
copper
there's power
here.
to the thing to put them in them, and I'm like,
There's
well,
space for the resource. There's power to the inserters. Yeah.
they don't seem to have any copper in them from when you're clicking on them. There's no copper in that.
There is 100% copper on this transporter belt. They were working just now. Here, seconds ago. Maybe if I just look away and then look back again.
My instinct is to blame the fact that you've got two different things on one belt. It's like, okay, it gets copper, it gets like coal from this belt, so I don't need to put any more
The
in.
iron is
so
still
I've got
going
coal.
fine though. And the iron has actually
Okay.
backed up now, somehow. Producing more iron than I need. Reasons I don't put this down. Perhaps I've run out of space to put ammo or something. Nope, still got shit tons of.
I don't know.
It looks like the game is just not quite happy with how I've arranged some of these things. Perhaps it doesn't like two things taken from the same spot.
That would be my guess, but
Electricity is still in abundance. Let's try removing one from the back again. So splitter goes like this. This. Let's try it like this. Okay, it restarted one of them for some reason. Two of them, in fact. Maybe it doesn't recognize them because they're not moving. That can't be right. No, maybe it is right. So is the iron going to stop as well?
maybe when it's
Is it
backed
top?
up it stops checking. It's like, okay, the state has not changed, I do not need to check whether like new things be put in there. Something stupid like that.
Well, it's alarmingly plausible. Yeah, I'm thinking if stuff isn't moving past the inserters, it's possible for them to be... Like, suppose they're just checking one pixel, or one atomic-sized unit of whatever this world is made of.
Yeah.
If something moves through that unit, they'll detect it, but if it's all stopped and none of them are moving, I guess where the top ones are going, because they're still maintaining motion by pulling things out of the way.
It would make sense as an optimization decision, considering that I imagine your shit is supposed to get pretty huge later on, so you don't want
Yeah.
stuff constantly checking the stuff
So
that's static.
So I guess I can't have things just backed up. Like, maybe I could create... Certainly reactivate it, but...
Maybe try to put one copper ore in the furnaces that are stalled and see if it makes them realise, okay, I'm now going to need to check again if there is copper on the line or something, I don't know.
Oh damn, I unstalled them by picking up the copper. Oops. Maybe they'll stall
Okay, so there's
again.
definitely a state change thing.
I should have picked up this copper instead.
Or you can just do whatever it is you do to pick up copper. Yeah. Okay.
Just hold F and you pick up items that are on the ground near you.
Okay.
Well, I'm extremely confused. They now seem to all be working, so... The iron is still going as well. This is fine. I'm going to assume it was, as you suggest, some kind of optimization there. Weird. Very weird.
I don't know how you correctly work around that if you can't have, like, stuff backing up.
Anyway, I need to splitter now because I need to take half my iron and bring it down to the production facility.
Certainly your current stuff is just kind of, it's been put wherever, and I've not given much mind to where I'm going to need to send these resources in the future. But that's a level of planning that you can't really expect when I have no idea what you're going to build, and I presume you also have no idea what you're going to build in the future.
Yeah, like, right now I'm just trying to get sort of a basic system set up so that I can... But presumably this is all just going to end up encoded in the permanent structure of whatever base I build, because no one ever actually rebuilds things to be more efficient.
Is that the underground?
Is this build going the wrong... There we go. Made it. This one as well. It doesn't seem to be actually moving iron out of the bottom.
I'm going to wait for the stream to catch up because I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
So I have this underground belt here because I want to move the iron past the coal stream that goes to the steam engines.
That's perfectly reasonable.
And then I want to set up a much larger and more effective iron.
But it's not coming out of the other side.
Let me consider the amounts of iron and copper that I need. To make a science, you need 1 gear and 1 copper plate. Gear requires 2 iron plates, so I need twice as much iron as copper. I guess I need actually 12 furnaces for iron. Or I could just make equal amounts and have the backup with copper. Whatever. So why isn't this underground belt transporting any goddamn iron?
Are they actually connected?
Well, I think so, because I've built them.
Oh, and your copper's stalled out again.
As well. Okay, let's try taking the copper from here, putting it in the furnace, see what happens. Doesn't look like that, doesn't it, I think? It looks like we just need to keep the material flowing through the system. Although the iron persists in being fine. That said, the iron is only being delivered on one side. Oh no, hold on. Perfectly explicably, this thing's placing it on one side while the top of mine is on the other. Obviously. So, well, easy solution. Okay. Put it on in a single stream. See, it looks different as well. Copper here is shiny and it's separated, but here it's all stacked up on top of it. That's not copper, that's wood. They look kind of similar.
Well, I'd do it if you've got like a big stack of wood just blocking up.
So I must have just put a massive stack of wood in the chest along with the copper.
Well, that's that solved.
Pixel art games. They're comprehensible. Okay, so one assumes this is the import duct. No? Because then it becomes an... Alright, it looks like I have an extremely limited range on these underground belts.
Is that just because you don't have enough underground belts? How many
No,
do you
I have like a whole bunch of spare ones. I have 6 total. Oh, I think it says... No, it says max health. Still no attacks by any enemies. The tutorials were genuinely more dangerous than the actual game.
I don't know, is there any way to know like where the nearest aliens are and shit?
Map shows them as red, but I'm not seeing any. Maybe I need to build more radars?
Maybe you just not camped near any places where aliens live. I don't know.
What can I say? I'm not complaining.
I'm gonna put it on like easy mode or something. There are no
That does
aliens.
Maybe. I was wondering if I'd accidentally set it to peaceful, but I don't think so.
Is there not any way to check that somewhere?
That's what I was trying to check now, but I can't seem to see it in the game options.
Okay, so you can't change it while the game's on go.
Difficulty normal.
Okay. I don't know. Is there something that controls like how aggressive they are? Do they get more aggressive as you get higher up the tech tree, or
Yeah,
do they?
more pollution makes them more aggressive.
Oh, okay, so then probably just not polluted enough, I guess.
Looks fairly polluting to me, but it just doesn't
I don't know.
count.
Is there any visual indicator of how polluted you've like made places? I mean, I can see like steam coming out of the generators, but it doesn't really say much beyond that. Smoke coming out of the furnaces.
Yeah, there's smoke coming from the furnaces, steam. Oh, hold on. Something was shooting. Thing.
I don't need to turn the sound back on so I can hear the shooting.
Let's see what the... Wasn't that gun, sorry. Oh no, it was me walking on the stone. Never mind. I'm still kind of useless at video games. Let's put down the other gun turret just in case. Fill it up with a bunch of ammo. Later on we'll have the whole ton of walls and automated gun turrets that are automatically filled with ammo. Laser gun turrets.
So you don't even need to make ammo anymore, you can just like power them, or do you have to make batteries that function the same as ammo? I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm finding things out. I think I need another splitter. And possibly another underground belt.
Top 2 copper furnaces aren't running again.
I think that's just because... Yeah, they're full of copper plate, so they can't make any more. And they can't place it out anywhere, because I haven't set up anything to do with all this copper plate yet.
Okay, that's fine then.
The system's just backed up because it doesn't have any outputs.
This is now the good kind of it's no longer working, as opposed to the bad kind of it's no longer working.
Exactly. Alright, we need a slightly more elegant system for obtaining coal than this. Oops. I want that accident. I mean, mixture. Right. A bit long, actually. Places go like 3. Spam more pylons? I don't really, but... Well, whatever.
Yeah.
You
Well,
must construct
power
additional
them.
pylons.
Not a single tile can be unpowered.
Exactly.
I wonder what gets the stuff off the conveyor belt faster, one splitter or like one of the little arm things.
I'm pretty sure I want the arm things because I want it to be consistent about what side they're placed on, and I want it to be placed on the lower side.
Okay, that sounds sensible.
Well, the far side from the splitter, which is... Oh, sorry, the far side from the placer, which is where they always places in the system.
Okay, so the splitter preserves sidedness.
Yeah, the splitter, I'm pretty sure it preserves sidedness, as you can see here.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
And these ones are all on the top side because of how this mining is set up. I could rotate the whole mine, but that sounds a little extravagant.
There are probably better ways to solve that problem.
There probably are, yeah. So now I have coal here. Yeah. Just sort of. There we go. We now have a coal iron stream in the same fashion. But if I place them like that, is there going to be space for the extraction?
Count the number of tiles in your copper thing.
Yes, as long as I don't misalign with the pylons, I'll be able to go underneath the pylons.
Good.
I think. Let me set up that conveyor belt first, just to be sensible.
No, yeah, I've not actually seen that happen. Can you like pick up your furnaces with no like loss of?
Yeah. Again, unlike Better Than Wolves, where kind of whenever you pick something up without sort of touch tools, you get fucked. Simply.
It's a little inconvenient having to route that under the pylon, but
Is this these two furnaces? No, wait, this one I think. Yeah, that one will be able to play.
yeah, there's nothing for one of them.
Try using a box or something to see if it does work. Yes, it does. Fantastic. Got that wood before we get a similar problem to last time.
Yeah, let's not do that again.
That was so stupid. I feel stupid still.
Don't worry, it's not like we have any viewers to like criticize.
It's a fair point. It's just us.
We're both learning.
Oops. Don't need a long-handed inserter.
Long-handed inserter?
I assume it's longer.
But if you don't know what it is, you don't need it.
I have one in. Yeah, see, it places from further away.
Oh,
It's
so you can just
convenient,
like
I
have
guess.
two conveyor belts next to each other, one with coal on it, one with iron on it, and then use a long-handed one to put like the further away one in.
Possibly. I don't know if they can reach over things. Oh, they can, look.
Because that
But they
seems like
can-
it would be a lot more convenient than making mixed belts.
The trouble is, they would be on where the conveyor belt for the regular one is supposed to be, so I don't think that's quite going to work where I want it to be.
Okay, so they have to put stuff in like 2 tiles away. They can't put stuff in next to it as well as pick
Yeah.
stuff 2 tiles away.
I'm not really sure what they're for. I guess I'll figure out a use for them later. Could pick up some more transport belts. Luckily, a vast number. The instructor for them seems to have inexplicably stopped again. It's gone back to making abundance of cogs, but not giving any plates to the right-hand system. I think it's because of the slight deficit of plates in this system. Like there really needs to be 4 furnaces to supply all of these. Because I have one output for just plates, one output for ammo, those are equal. But it's essentially 3 outputs for the conveyors, because they take a plate and cog, and a cog is 2 plates. So I guess I actually need 2 more furnaces in order to have equal inputs and outputs of plates in every direction. That makes sense. But things kind of gets dark and inefficient.
So you're building 3 things here. You build well. I assume those just sort of square things are like factories that turn like iron plates into cogs and stuff.
Yeah, these sort of blocky squares are assembling machines. They can assemble just about anything, but okay, so when I assemble something, like if I assemble a transport belt myself, it'll automatically start making the components of them. The components are an iron plate and an iron gear wheel, but a gear wheel is composed of 2 iron plates. But as long as I have iron plates, if you watch through the lower left corner, it'll very quickly assemble a gear wheel and then assemble the plates. Sorry, no, assemble the conveyor belt from that and the plates.
It automatically handles dependencies,
Yeah.
basically.
Whereas the assembler does not automatically handle dependency. I need to have one assembler making cogs from plates, and then another assembler making plates and cogs into. Yes.
That makes sense. It would probably be a bit too easy just to feed raw materials into an assembler and then get whatever the hell you want out of it, basically. To like make the various intermediate stages.
Exactly, yeah. In fact, it would just be trivial. It would make the entire game boring.
Exactly.
Okay, now pylons power all these pieces. Side. You need to make sure that your pylons are close enough to connect with the somewhat hard to see cable.
I have seen the cable and assumed that was important. And like change its colour or
So
something.
far,
Yeah.
you're completely correct. So far, it just I've just been building in my base, but when you're building long lines like this, you get these very elegant curves where you're trying to keep things as distantly spaced as possible.
You do want as few pylons as you have to build.
Because they're just irritating to have to build.
They take up space and get in the way of all of your other stuff as well.
Finally, we can make a assembly machine for cogs here. We're going to use a box as an intermediary because that'll let us. It prevents the backlog building up on the conveyor belt. Essentially, just lets you have a larger backlog, which, fine, that's good. That means it'll keep going longer if something goes wrong. It sort of smooths over irregularities. It's like a capacity system.
And when you need to start doing more stuff, you can just throw the backlog and like whatever the new thing is, get it going, rather than having to worry too much about balancing your inputs early on.
Exactly. The whole thing works so much more efficiently. I'm going to take a second toilet break. Alcohol. Delicious, but some
Diuretic.
downsides. Exactly. Do here.
All that seeing forever on the stream.
Need another lamp, really.
There's a bit gloomy in there.
It's a bit dark over here. Yeah. Let's get this tree out of the way.
Oh, you're talking about in game?
In game, yeah. I have a perfectly good lamp in reality.
Oh, that can never be sure.
Okay, so it's an eye. They're larger than.
I assume Minecraft logic is basically the same but bigger.
There's a lot of Minecraft logic. It's very much like a 2D top-down Minecraft.
People that love like.
But for people that like the automation and
whatever.
Yeah. For me. Okay, so this assembler needs to make cogs. Simple. Cogs this way. Plates. I need to consider making an inserter automation, but the problem is it's going to be really complicated.
What's inserted made of?
An inserter is made of one iron plate, one iron gear wheel, and one electronic circuit, and the circuit is made of one iron plate and 3 copper cable. The cable is made of 1 copper plate.
I think before you start attempting that kind of thing, you're going to need to like unify your supply of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you need like I don't know,
Like this.
one like row of conveyor belts with like one conveyor belt for each type of thing.
Well, you can
and
remember
then,
these
like-
mines won't last forever, so
Oh, are they finite?
yeah. Large but finite. The expected resources out of this copper mining is 8.5k, and then I'd have to build another one next to it, and then, as you can see, I'd get hundreds of thousands from even a single copper deposit. And that's not even a large one. If you look at the map, like this one here seems to be a bit larger.
Okay,
iron
so that sounds like
deposits.
a problem for the far-flung future, where you can like route a new copper like deposit into your
Yeah.
system.
But I can
But
just
I think setting some kind of centralized thing where you've got like a conveyor belt for like X, Y, and Z resource, and then like they feed out into an area where that resource is used to build one specific thing, and that one specific thing feeds back onto like another like conveyor belt in your big long list of conveyor belts. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because you use like cogs for a bunch of different things, and rather than sub-manufacturing cogs in every place that needs cogs, like unify the
I should
manufacturing.
have a single
cogs.
massive cog manufactory and a single copper cable manufactory and so forth.
Yeah, and then like take them from some kind of centralized system.
I'd need some kind of
To whatever
sortition
place.
though, and we were just discussing how that's really tricky. Because if I'm putting everything into a single bin, I need a way to take a specific thing out of that bin, right?
I think conveyor belts with that one thing on it might be the way. I don't know whether you need to like leave a space between them so that you can like have a splitter
Okay,
and then
so
an
I'd
underground
essentially have a bin
thing.
that's not one big bin, but rather several small bins.
Yeah.
Actually,
I think it would just be sort of a lot simpler to think about in that terms.
yeah.
And then, like, when you find, okay, I'm needing more cogs now because I've added a new thing that needs cogs, you go to the area where cogs are built and you add a few more cog factories. See what I mean?
I do see what you mean. Okay, so here's our first science factory, I guess. See, a lab is quite difficult to produce. Takes tons of copper cable, tons of electronic circuits, tons of gears. Maybe I should have just
That
picked
makes
up the
sense
old
because
one.
they are a bottleneck for how quickly you're going to advance through the tech tree. The more like labs you can build, the more
Yes.
like the lab resources you can funnel stuff into.
Yes. Like, it's actually possible that this is going to be, oh, actually, it's almost certain this is going to be an over... Yeah, I probably should, instead of just having these feed directly into the lab, I should have a conveyor for beakers.
A lab area where you add more labs to it when your beaker production increases.
Exactly. Okay, and now power this whole thing.
You see, the reason I don't play this game is because like I've thought of all this crap we've like just discussed, and then I like realised, oh god, how long would it take to actually make all of that like actually happen? And that's why I don't play the game.
Yeah, that's kind of why I resisted as well, but then I realised that I was playing Better Than Wolves to try and get the same feeling, but that all was happening was I was dying over and over and suffering. It just wasn't fun.
There's
I wasn't
other
getting
like
to do the actual thing.
Minecraft mods.
Okay, that
for
didn't
that.
really work out because the beaker just got dumped.
I'm gonna wait like 30 seconds to see what actually happens because I'm not sure where the beakers ended up.
It ended up at the bottom of the conveyor belt.
It didn't get put in the science thing.
Ah, one finally did get put in the science thing. I think it's just because the conveyor belt is too long.
One of the science things.
What I'll do is I'll just set them up on a loop.
I guess eventually you want to reach the point where, like, you have a surplus of science. I don't know. Is science used for anything other than just going in the science machine, or is that all?
It just goes in the science machine, as far as I can tell.
Cool. I didn't know whether it might be needed to build something else.
Okay, so far I actually have a deficit of science relative to how fast the lab unit. Although only ever so slightly. Partly it's because this picker is a bit slow at picking things up.
And it needs to go all the way around the little merry-go-round before it can, like, get another chance to be picked up.
Maybe if I just swap the position of this.
It did look like it was trying to pick the thing up as it was placed on the tile, and then it moved off the tile before it could even pick it up.
Now it's just failing worse. This is terrible. I know, I'll just use 2. Stupid.
Yeah, well, it is fumbling. I don't know whether it's because it's trying to pick it up, but there's no space in the machine. No, it's not got a light thing
so
happening inside the machine.
the problem here is quite simply that I don't have enough production science. Still, at least it's automatic now, and I can start looking at the next thing to do.
I guess the next thing to do would be have more things producing science until you reach whatever the equilibrium is.
Steel processing is going to be done pretty soon, and I might want to set up a steel plant. I might want to replace this, like, minor iron products manufacturing with a much better one. Which, as you
I
said,
feel like just building an entirely new factory and having this that you've got now be like your starting stuff to just produce the most basic materials to build a more well-organized factory. Although I guess we probably don't even know enough about how a factory should work to start doing that, do we? Maybe
well, that's the thing, yeah. It's the old enterprise quality code conundrum. Oh, I finished steel. Solar energy, free electric energy but useless at night. Or better energy distribution, or I could do something completely different. Advanced material processing. I'd let me make a steel furnace, which is probably a bit more efficient than a regular furnace. I think I should research advanced material processing.
Solar certainly doesn't sound worth doing at present since you don't have any power issues. And even if you do, it sounds like a kind of awkward solution.
I like how walking and placing a stone path as you walk is actually faster than just walking on the old cartoon strategy of throwing down the tracks as the train is moving. I laugh now, but I'll probably do exactly that at some point.
Quite possibly. I don't know. It depends how fast the trains move, whether you can keep up with them, or do you ride on the front of the train?
Yeah, so this factory location isn't completely ideal. Like, I have coal, iron, stone, copper all near the sea, but I don't have any source of crude oil, which later on will be quite desirable. But by that point I'll probably be able to build really super long pipelines and everything anyway.
Yeah. By that stage, I don't know how far away crude oil is, but hopefully by then you'll have automated the production of, like, the things you need to move stuff around.
Yeah, pipelines, trains, and so forth. Okay,
well, I have no idea.
It looks like we are actually producing a surplus of science.
Oh, good.
Oh no, hold on.
Both of the things going.
It's because I'm not producing any green science. I'm only producing red science. You need different colours. Green science is made from inserters and transport belts.
Oh.
Well, given that I already automated the production of transport belts, and I was just saying I need to automate the production of inserters, maybe that is what I should do. Or maybe I should switch to something that doesn't require green science.
That seems like the correct solution.
At least for now.
But yeah, it does seem to say that you can work on, like, the tier 2 science stuff once you've gotten to the stage where you're, like, now comfortably automating the things you need to build.
Oh, hold on, we found it.
To automate things.
The filter inserter can filter items.
What do you mean? Like, it only asserts one kind of thing?
I don't know. It just says it's a filter inserter can filter items. Just insert from circuits.
That sounds good.
And more importantly, I can start researching that.
That sounds extra good.
But obviously we are going to want that green science eventually, so I should start setting up my inserter and an improved inserter, and let's just take down all of this iron processing. Build a better one.
You know, what I've got in my head is just like conveyor belts coming sort of from that like ocean to the east, and then moving over to the west, and then either on the north and south side of it will be like the places where you build your various factories for one or the other kind of thing, and then it feeds back into this central sort of column running, central road running across the middle of your like factory area. It's like how I'm envisioning it. Obviously, it'd be slightly less convenient to like start your coal and stuff to move it over to that side, and then like I don't know. Is coal used for anything other than power and turning ores into metals?
I imagine it's used for all kinds of things. Although, actually, I suppose crude oil is used for most of the plastics and industry stuff. So it might just be used for a burnable power source.
So you wouldn't need to put that on like the main throughway or other things. I don't know.
Like, I know that I need coal once to turn iron ore into iron, and again to iron plates into steel.
Well, yeah, but the idea was you'd have one conveyor belt that has lots of coal on it, and then you pull from that conveyor belt to send to the steel manufactury area, and then further along on the coal conveyor belt you also pull off it again later to send to whatever else you need coal for. See what I mean? Rather than each place having their own separate coal supply. There's one coal supply that they all pull from.
That's kind of what we've got here. We've got this one coal supply going across from left to right.
Yes, it is sort of the same general idea. It's just a bit messy, the way it's like intertwined with everything.
In particular, you see it takes a northward turn here and then a southward turn of equivalent magnitude a little later, for basically no reason at all.
But that sort of thing can be ironed out.
Yeah, we're just going to move the underground part a little to the south.
Well, the main problem I have with it is that it's going west to east, and thus it leaves very little space. You see what I mean? Yeah, the only place you can pull coal from is that space between the coal farm on the west and the ocean. If you want to get coal anywhere else, you're going to have to do something specific for it, rather than like having a general, this is the coal line, I pull from the coal line.
Yeah. Like, there is a lot of coal here, all under the trees, but really large area. Total amount of coal is going to be perhaps.
I guess you can just put the stuff if you want to build stuff further west, you can just put another like mining thing on that and then route to the west. But I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Although having a single coal mine pointing in two directions is very elegant.
Exactly.
Right. Fixed the. Carrying around a truly shocking amount of coal. Let's just add an inserter. Add it like it's part of the map. We want to carry around some coal. There's a bunch of furnaces that aren't automated yet, like the stone.
Okay.
Actually, it looks like the stone has run out. I'm not in a huge hurry to get stone bricks, they're just convenient.
I don't remember them being mentioned for anything that we've been automating so far. So they I don't know, maybe they're not used much. Oh wow, that's a nice little science go around.
It is, I do like the little
Shouldn't you
science
look up that second science factory? Since it's just kind of there right next to where your science is.
I do actually think generate a surplus of science somehow. Hey, you're right, I should look up the second lab. Just in case it helps.
Well, presumably it would probably not double your speed because you've probably not got twice as much science production than you need, but it'll mean you're probably going to be limited more by the factory producing science rather than the factory using science.
Yeah. I thought I was limited by production anyway, but it certainly looks like we've created an excess. Perhaps it just takes longer to research this one than the other one. Like, it takes longer to use the science so that it ends up building up a...
Wouldn't that be it uses up more of the little bottles total rather than speed?
No,
I would have thought that.
I was thinking that each technology might have... Okay, yeah, time needed to research one unit for electronics, 15 seconds. And it also takes one science pack to research one unit, and it needs to do that 15 seconds of one unit all 30 times. Whereas the one I was doing before was steel, wasn't it?
Yes. I think so.
That takes 5 seconds and one science pack, but takes 50 times.
Okay, so there's different ratios.
Yeah. Weird, but whatever.
I guess the ones with shorter cycles will mean you'll need the fast inserter that was mentioned if you want to have them going in as fast as things chewing through them.
That's a good point.
Something like that.
As you see, all these furnaces are dead now because oh crap! I'm not sending any iron to it, so it's going to stop in a minute.
Yeah, you've dismantled all the factories up there.
We've created our filter inserter. Automation 2 for the assembling machine 2, or assembling things that require up to 4 ingredients. And it's going to be useful.
Automation sounds like exactly what we want.
I mean, I need that in a sense, don't I? Because automation 1.
I don't know. I think the only thing you've mentioned that requires more than 2 is one that requires 3.
Yeah, the inserter requires 3, but I need to make inserters en masse for my green science. So I do actually need that too. Which I really hope doesn't require green science.
It would be a little cruel if the thing you needed to automate in order to research it was you unlock the ability to automate research. But, oh god, don't even make me try and say this. But yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Oh yeah, you need to connect the
Do I get iron coming out the bottom? There we go, fantastic. And the iron forges start back up. Oh, that's a joy to watch. All switch
the
on.
feeling that you understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Made it work.
I did that. I built that.
All those machines springing to life.
Alright. So as you say, I think we should have a single large cogs manufactory. I just use all 3 of these assemblers to produce cogs non-stop.
Well, you're also going to need, I think, wires as well soon.
Yep.
But I guess you can build more assemblers. I don't know whether it's going to be a good idea to ever automate the assembly of assemblers, though.
Well, I'll build my wires factory. No, I might not want to build it out here because that's a coal mine. But I'll bring it off of this copper line, put it somewhere, or I might bring it back across to the top again. Just to make it confusing and I did not.
I don't know.
Hold on. Forges first. Forges first,
All this
then.
stuff is made out of plates, right? And the only place you're making plates for either copper or iron is in that little sort of southern area, and it doesn't really have any room for you to expand on it.
Okay, I've run out of stone to make stone furnaces with.
Time to make steel furnaces, or
Time to improve my stone production, because right now it doesn't actually produce any raw stone. It produces baked stone, and I'm pretty sure you can't use it already.
I don't know. I have not seen the stone production place.
It's this little thing over here, looking a bit sort of quaint and pastoral. It's going to be super lazy and have a mark that puts directly into the box. I think I can do that. I can't, it will fail soon. It works. Alright, so our furnaces are going to go up along here, I guess. We should take down some of these unnecessary pipes.
They are just confusing the issue, probably.
Mostly, yeah. Although that lamp there is out. Some out across the top. They'll at least be out of the way. I haven't found a good way to put things like stop picking. Finding it's running to way. Like if I'm placing something, is there an easy way to make it not the thing that I'm placing anymore? Like it's not ESC. Not right click.
Those are not problems I have any advice for you on, because
Oh well,
I don't know.
hardly matters.
I learn relatively little about the interface, or at least the keyboard controls from the other side of the stream.
Yeah, and I mean, like 90% of the games I play, I don't really know what the controls are. I just sort of happen. That sounded
Eventually,
smarter in my head.
So wait, is that an electric furnace? Oh no, wait, that's. I thought it changed colour when it was within range of the pylon, but that's not the case. It's just changing colour when it's got space to be placed in.
Yeah, that's mostly correct. Take out more of these trees. Disgusting
Things.
growing things, getting in the way of pure industry.
Is there any more efficient means of deforestation at your disposal, or is it just hitting
I
with your
haven't
hand?
seen one anywhere on the tech tree. It seems like wood is something you have to harvest by hand forever.
I guess that's not exactly unrealistic.
But perhaps it could
Want of a
be
better
in...
word. I don't know. Can you not, like run it over with your car in order to pick it up or something?
I think cars can knock down trees, but it damages the car as well.
No,
That's what I was thinking though. Maybe there's a vehicle that teams trees.
Some kind of harvester would make sense. Although I guess it would only be for trees unless there's some other non-mined or pumped natural resource.
Our armor, robotics, exoskeleton.
A chainsaw under weapons or something?
Flamethrower.
No,
Tanks.
it sounds kind of counterproductive, flamethrower.
Hail signals.
You just shoot trees down and call it a day.
Kind of interested in looking through the tech tree at the moment, but
To be honest, the tech tree looks all but incomprehensible when you go through it. Is this like dependencies that I'm seeing, or is that everything that unlocks? I have
okay,
no
so
idea.
it looks like there's a whole different bunch of ways of looking at the tech tree, but no way to see the entire thing, which is probably merciful. Like if I click on construction robotics, for instance, it'll highlight construction robotics, the things it leads to, and all of the things that it depends on. Green things I've already researched, yellowish things I can research, and red things I can't research yet.
Okay, so where does it tell you what the technologies unlock?
At the top, under effects.
Okay.
Storage chest.
Okay, so it just shows you the icon for the buildings. It doesn't like tell you what. Okay.
So engine, for instance, so lets me create engine unit. Then I can research automobilism to create a car. Research tanks to create a tank.
Okay.
Electric engine.
That's more comprehensible to me now.
Improvement.
It just feels odd to me that there's that huge bottom panel for dependencies and unlocks, and like what you actually get for researching the tech you're looking at is those tiny little icons.
Logistics system. Requester chests request items from the logistic network. Active provider chests push their contents to be stored or used elsewhere. I'm glad this is
If
so
what I
easy.
watched in the trailer was correct, there are like little drone robots you can build. That sounds like something for that. That'll like move stuff around.
Possibly. It's not clear if there's an easy way to get wood. But wood rapidly, like, I'm using it for these small pylons, but nothing else right now. Mostly I just want to clear the forest out of the way. Not that I'm a Captain Planet villain or anything. Well, alright,
We're not role-playing here at all. Not at all.
At this point, I kind of am. Like,
Fine.
like I set out to be a villain. Well, alright. Not like I set out to be like a comically evil.
No, you take your evil very seriously here.
Exactly. I just agree with CEO Morgan from Alpha Centauri.
There's nothing wrong with that.
He literally wrote a book called The Ethics of Greed.
Gotta like apply your ethics to all things.
Well, I'll grant that it was a consistent ethics. Oops. Well, I'm probably going to use all of those.
What are all these furnaces for? Steel?
Yes, these are all going to be iron furnaces. And then some amount of the iron is going to be redirected to make steel.
Because I was a bit confused. I was like, okay, we've already got our steel production, our iron production area down there, but those are just like a few irons to keep the current science going.
This is just for making science right now, and sort of a test scale of what I should be doing for making furnace setups.
Okay, that's a lot more sensible then. You got your iron ore coming in on the right, and then you'll like round down, and you'll have like iron plates coming back out. Good. I don't know. Is there anything iron ore is used for other than being turned into iron plates? I don't know. I don't remember the real answer to this question.
I doubt there's any use for metal ores other than making metal plates.
That's good then. It means we don't need to add them to any kind of grand unified system. They can just go straight to the factory area.
I mean, it's possible. I don't think.
A problem for another time.
Yeah, I just don't know if the game's chemistry includes that. Oh, hold on, I see enemies on the map. Some down and to the right, some up and to the left, some to the right. My radar's been doing work. That's bigger than it used to be.
Is it time to go and have an adventure, or are we going to wait for them to come to us?
I'm going to wait for them to come to me. This is a defensive.
It does seem more in the spirit of things.
Perhaps I should add more guns. Like, I don't want them completely destroying the copper mine. Stick around.
I don't know, how bad is it when they attack things? Does your shit just get completely erased, or does it just get broken and then you hit it with a spanner and put sticks?
They can deal damage to things, you can repair things, but they will eventually destroy things if they deal enough damage.
Okay, do you get like an alert when your shit's being damaged, or do you need to like
I think you do get an alert,
that
but it's unlikely to be, like, they will destroy things probably faster than I can get over to myself.
Okay.
It is a game about automation after all.
Okay, so you need to keep half an eye on the mini-map every so often.
Seems like it. Well, let's get these furnaces active to begin.
It seems like there's relatively little that needs to be done.
Yeah, we're just going to hook up some old places. 6
Throw down an inserter. And
oh, this is rather in the way. And it's also full of fire. I want to destroy it and spill it everywhere.
Can you get a build a one pile go underneath the ground?
Let's just move this one the side. Sense trying to get cutesy about it. Thank you, research. Right. Automation 2. Build assembling. We're running out of things we can research without the green science. Terry, I guess.
Focus more on infrastructure rather than science.
Let's go with armor crafting. Some armor to wear would be pretty nice.
Make you feel a little safer in the world.
Exactly. Have the iron flow onto there.
I assumed the plan was to just remove that box, since that box is basically just the iron overflow.
Yeah, I don't want to remove the box per se because it's full of valuable iron.
Oh well, it'll get the inserter and then put some conveyor belts like past the box to the.
But yeah, you're completely right. Remove the inserter. Just bring that around there, and brilliant. Ions down the side.
Gotta admit, I still don't like the look of the whole mixed conveyor belts thing. But I guess they haven't found a better way.
As far as I can tell, it's just the absolute best way to do this, rather than having 2 conveyor belts. Your beliefs about miscegenation will simply have to... you have to deal with it.
I guess it's fine if it's only in the ones where like this conveyor belt is being used for specifically this.
Just gonna dump some of my massive stock of my system.
Back that up properly.
Oh, I researched armor already. That was easy. To be fair, it's probably not a terribly difficult thing to figure out.
Bolt some iron plates to yourself, call it a day.
Pretty much. I think I should unlock some better weapons next. Submachine gun and a shotgun both sound nice to have.
You will show the aliens some shotgun justice or whatever.
Right, let's take out a few of these trees around the so let's see what we're doing.
If you intend for this to be part of like your larger system, it is about time to decide sort of what direction you're going to point it in.
Up
Are
and
you
to
going
the
to have it going
left.
upwards, or are you going to have it going to the left? Okay.
So up and to the left not only gets me like away from running into one of my mines or the ocean, it also brings me nearer some large coal and copper deposits eventually. Although the largest coal deposit down to the left, probably not worth heading in that direction, just coal, which would be both niche in use and highly abundant. Set up these bone turrets. And my mines.
They are the most exposed. Your central factory has usually got you in it.
Yeah, I can defend the factory. It has a couple of gun turrets already. Distant copper and iron mines in it. I'm going to move this turret, which doesn't really defend anything right now. And just defends the approach, but
I don't know. I feel like you should have reasonably early warning for the ones coming from the south, since you've got to go all the way around that little lake.
My logic is that if they're coming in this way, they'll turn and attack the other mine. Because they're video game opponents. Yeah. Real enemies, I would want to defend the way in. You defend against the enemy you're fighting.
Indeed.
Right, we researched military 2 already, that was easy.
The joy of automating your science. You now don't need to put a bunch of crap in a little dome thing. You just sort of click the button and every so often it's like research new stuff.
Yeah, basically. Automation. Wonderful idea. Yeah. All I can say is Moloch can't automate the way they need my job fast enough. Try and pave this entire. I would quite like to keep some trees in nations, if possible.
Yeah, so you can look at them every so often and remind yourself why you hate them.
Not that I hate them, they are consistently in the way.
Such an unnecessary existence. Are there multiple tiers of paving that you can do, or is it just we've got gravel and it's good?
One way to go faster is to run along the conveyor belts in the same direction they travel. Most of the plants are just in the way.
Yep. We shall take whatever kind of tool to them the game will provide us as soon as we find out what it is.
Much. Apparently it's just an iron axe. But
one day there'll be something better, hopefully, maybe.
Right. So we have all this production rates. Now reduce costs. Seems like a pretty fundamental component, so I'm going to dedicate 3 production centers solely to cogs. They only require iron. Although actually, lay things out sensibly. Probably have iron stream. Various things that require iron dip into it at points along it.
Yeah, the idea is to have the factory sort of perpendicular to the main streams of things. See what I mean?
Exactly. So kind of similar to what I've got going on down at the bottom here, but much larger scale. And with a whole bunch of different things coming out of here. Essentially just a repetition of what we've got for the ores, where we have a stream of coal being dipped into by the various furnaces and boilers.
Yeah, that sort of concept expanded and streamlined a bit.
I feel like I could use a third engine.
I don't know what your power looks like.
Well, it's starting to dip below where I'd like it to be.
No, that means you need more.
Exactly. Question is, can I just link them up like that? Yes. Fantastic. Oh,
So
that's
you can have as
beautiful.
many generators as possible on one power grid.
Yeah. Like I have the boilers over here on the right, and then I have 2 generators to the left of them now. Presumably at some point I'll want to move this copper over to the left so that I can put another one on the bottom as well.
Oh, I see you've got multiple generators being fed by the same...
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Does that,
Trying
like,
to put a third
reduce
one.
efficiency or increase it?
It depends how you look at efficiency. Over on the right I have some statistics about my thing. I have the amount of water being provided to it, it's at 9.8 out of a maximum of 10, so it's being consistently provided with water. Temperature is 100°C, fine. On the left, temperature is 100°C, 9.8 out of 10. Looks like there's not much loss in terms of availability of fluid.
Okay,
Boilers.
so the 3 furnaces can provide for certainly more than 1 and possibly more than 2 of the power plants.
Could well be, I mean...
Well, I just keep slapping power plants onto the chain until you see a dip in the amount of water it's receiving.
Look at all those aliens to the north east.
Is that aliens?
The red colour. Right now you're probably only looking at the minimap because that's just sand in a desert, I assume.
Okay,
Something
oh god. Yeah, you just opened the proper map. That's presumably a serious business over there.
We may be in for some serious businessing. We may be seriously businessed by those guys if they ever show up.
Let's hope they're
Friendly.
pacifist aliens.
The bright red colour suggests friendliness, right?
If I know anything about nature, and I clearly don't.
Alright, so we probably want to get up to a transport belt production fairly quickly.
So that's cogs and plates, was it?
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like cogs are the next on the list.
Alright. That'll be the start of our eventual stream. It's all on the one side, which is convenient in case we do want it ever on one side. We can get it back to 2 sides by using a inserter that goes in the same direction as the conveyor belt.
Okay.
Alright, so assembly machines for cogs. These are going to be pretty simple.
Probably at least one reason to use things double-sided eventually. It's when you just want to move in terms of the total amount of iron your conveyor belt is moving. You're only moving half as much as it could be when you're using half the side. Are there faster conveyor belts or
There are faster conveyor belts. So they're going to cost more resources and they're going to involve a much more difficult procedure to assemble them.
Because that's the main thing that I'm thinking is going to potentially be a problem with the whole mainstream of stuff. Is when you start needing more than one conveyor belt can sort of cut through. See what I mean?
I believe I can just in place replace the conveyor belt with an upgraded version.
Okay, so that looks like that's reasonably future-proofed. Good. Okay. Assuming you want your main line to be going westwards, I think you should not be doing it the way you're doing. Instead of having them parallel along the conveyor belt, instead pull off that main conveyor belt and do another one that goes south, and then have all of your cog making machines going along to the south, and then the output from the cog making machines goes back to the north, and then continues west parallel to the iron. You see what I'm describing?
You know, I think you're right. I think you're right. Something like that.
And then you just repeat that process further to the west. There'll be the next resource you want to make out of iron and cogs. And then you'll pull down to the south into some machines, and then back up to the north onto the main line of conveyor belts with whatever you're building.
I like your thinking. Let's give that a try.
That seems a lot more expandable for the future.
Obviously, the two-dimensional nature of it is gonna, at some point, start becoming, I'd even say, annoying.
It'll be a limitation, certainly. Also, with this way, it's a lot easier to tell which things are lacking iron. Because there's not iron backing up on this conveyor belt, that means you need something to put iron onto it faster to meet the demand in the machines or whatever. Whereas if you had them all along the main line, it'd be a lot harder to identify where deficiencies are arising. At least that is my thinking.
So far, I'm with you. I think got the right idea.
And then, yeah, I'm not sure exactly how you should do this, whether you should leave one tile between all of the between the iron plate line and the cog line when they're moving west, or whatever, to give you space to put a splitter and then an underground cog thing to pull it all the way off the main line of belts. Or I guess you can have them two right next to each other because you've got those.
I don't want to go too far just west, because.
Oh yeah, you can expand the main west line as stuff actually arrives.
I want to keep the base reasonably sized. So I think I get what you're saying. We want to have a second cogs line now.
Yeah. The cogs come from where they are up to the north, and then move to the west, parallel to the iron plates. And then, yeah, those cogs will continue left for as long as the base continues to expand. And then they'll be pulled off again back to either the south or the north, depending on which way you prefer to expand, as the case goes on, when you find more uses for cogs.
Is this going to be a useful long putter as well? Because I can put things onto the other side of the...
Exactly.
So, can I? Okay.
That is worth knowing.
Oh, yeah, that'll... Well, not quite, because I need the back end to be a little further back as well. Oh my god, it's right behind.
Suffering.
Basically, not going to grab anything there. This is interesting. Okay, so we need more thing constructors. Type 1 assembling machines in order to assemble, well, at least one assembling machine assembling plates and cogs and transporter belts. Seems reasonable.
Belts and inserters are the thing that seem to be used for absolutely everything at the moment. So you probably want to automate those next, in either order.
I agree with that, and inserters and belts are also the ingredients for green science.
Perfect. And then you can pull from the inserters and belts manufacturing line and send those to a place that will manufacture green science.
Man, I've got to say, I'm actually really liking your proposed architecture here. How you do not have a job in coding is beyond me. This is very well designed.
It's just like, you're going to need these for everything, so you want to make a place so that everything you can take from it.
I think I'd have ended up with something similar eventually, but I'd have gone through a lot more trial and error than just starting it straight away.
It's like, you were looking at the sort of smaller scale, okay, I want to make this thing for exactly this, rather than I want to make this thing for everything.
Yeah.
Eventually you'd have realised, oh god, I need this for everything, so I'm going to make some kind of system for it.
I'm pretty sure cogs are used in pretty much everything. Or at the very least, they're a basic component in everything. Yeah,
So they are worth having on this sort of main
loads
line.
of things. Okay, so we're going to pull cogs down like that. One grabber. Maybe we can do a double grab? It's not gonna... Maybe they just need to be 2 spaces apart if we're going to use long grabbers. Yeah, I don't see any way around it. We'll move the cogs line.
The main one that is going to be like, I'm not sure, the one thing I really don't have any idea about, to be honest, like, as this expands, is how we're going to pull stuff off this, like, main sort of westward stream that's going to develop.
Well,
right. Eventually there's going to be many sort of layers of, like, there's going to be plates of this kind, plates of that kind, etc. And...
well, here's what I'm proposing right now. Pylons. There we go. But now we're pulling off both plates and cogs while keeping the 2 lines separate because of the power of the long-armed putter, whatever we want to call it.
Okay, I think I see. Oh yeah, there we go, you've just powered it off. That looks nice. It certainly works for this specific situation. I guess you can just use underground conveyor belts if, like, you ever need to.
I think between the long-armed putter and the underground conveyor belts, we have a pretty wide array of ways to get things off the line, as long as we keep the line broad enough.
As long as you space everything out sufficiently.
But I need this space behind the... because the long-armed one doesn't take from immediately behind it and put 2 spaces in front of it. It takes from 2 spaces behind it and puts 2 spaces in front of it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's have a couple of side sensors. A couple of transporter plate producers. Each one is going to have 1 feed for cogs, which is a single. It's not enough. We just double put.
Are we sure one can't put into, like, a building that's right next to it? Because the building is multi-tile.
That's a good point. I almost don't want that to work because it's kind of bullshit, but...
Would it take too much of the fun out of it?
No, I mean, it's just like, imagine the building has 1 input slot and it's on the near side.
Do the buildings have input slots?
Well, no, they don't.
Slip into it from anywhere.
That's rather the point, is they don't have input slots. But suppose they did. Yeah, you're right. Like, it's like I can put ingredients anywhere on the building and they'll get absorbed. It's like the building is less of a robot and more of like a gelatinous cube of construction.
You just got a cauldron and you throw things into it.
Yeah, it's just a big old cauldron of nanotech that eats whatever materials I put in and outputs useful things.
Oh well, at least that's neat from a layout perspective.
Alright, so for now, these are final products. Well, probably going to want to put them in science file. let's not get too crazy about
adding them to the main thing, like the main conveyor belt system for later. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Later on, you could probably expand on the thing or just straight up connect it to the main.
In this case, yeah, we just need
system.
to replace the boxes with a conveyor belt that goes back to the. I'm gonna do that. I probably won't want to plan on it.
Although you'll need to leave space to like have that conveyor belt exist later if you ever want it to exist. Because otherwise, you have to move all of the other conveyor belts you're going to build later, presumably.
Yeah.
Is the lower of the two stalled or something? Or have you just not told it what to build yet? Okay, there we go.
Oh, it's rigorously paved everything. We don't want any of that yucky nature getting.
It is just a mess. Get rid of it.
Man, I've got to say, I'm really enjoying this game. Oh wow, I'm completely backed up on red science. That's because I'm not researching anything, because I think I've run out of things that require only red science to research.
Luckily, you just completed the first. Oh no, wait, you've still got to automate inserts.
I can get bullet damage.
That sounds like a thing we want. Bullets to do damage.
I'm in favour of bullets to do damage. It's got to be said. Non-damaging bullets are not well regarded. Where's my pile of junk tech? Here it is. There are old cutters that require fuel to work. Don't use them. Likewise, there are old miners that require fuel. They're all been replaced with electric.
Okay, so gradually modernising our infrastructure.
Exactly. Alright, I guess we better get started on automating the production of cutters so that we can automate the production of science.
Those look like the next in the line of things to do.
Let's see if we can do that the other way around.
Well, if we are going to automate the production of green science, we should probably just add conveyor belts to the main line, since they require that. Unless you think conveyor belts are only used in the
I don't really
green
want to
science
bring components like track all the way along this line. Even like it's used for. What's track used for apart from green science?
That's the thing. That's what I want to know. Is it used for
track.
anything other than green science? Because if not, then yeah, just manufacture the track locally.
Underground belt, splitter. These are just higher levels of track that you need in relatively small quantities. I'm happy to manually make splitters.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Okay, so we'll just manually manufacture track with the green science sort of factory.
Yeah, and likewise, same for putters. I want them in bulk because I want to place them myself. But apart from making higher levels of putter, inserter, there's not really any use for them. Oh no, the lab is made of transport belts.
Higher levels of inserters,
but I'm not really sure I want to automate production of labs just yet. There's a certain level of machines building machines, you know?
Very true. I'm maybe getting a bit ahead of myself there in the automate everything into everything mentality. There is some consideration to be given to scale.
Any of the aliens sent out any scouting parties? Not seeing any.
Also, looking at your cog manufactory, it isn't getting enough iron to use all three of its factories.
Good point.
I don't know what to do about that. Maybe
just a sensible thing and increase the number of iron inputs.
Yeah, they definitely need more iron in some.
There we go. Tons of iron. We've tripled the amount of iron coming into the system.
Excellent.
We're still producing way more iron than that.
Good, because then, once you realise you're not producing enough iron, then you go further back into the stack and add more iron. So
Well, the problem with the iron furnaces right now is that some of them seem to be... Yeah, they're all full. They're all literally full of iron. Can't produce anymore.
Exactly. So yeah, that will only become a problem like far in the future when we're massively like draining way more iron from the system than we currently are.
We're building giant rockets and stuff.
Yeah.
Just throw down a gun turret out here. Alright, I should probably set up an ammo manufactory as well. That I will want to put on a conveyor belt for later, though maybe not travel in the same direction. The ammo I want to take out to the perimeter at some point.
Yeah, is ammo used to build into anything else? Because if not, then just stick it in a box and put it places manually, or...
Although that reminds me, I could immediately set up a wall manufactory. That would be sensible.
Yes, wall is something that is seeming more and more useful as time goes by. As the red gradually encroaches.
You're right, it is encroaching as well. It's visible on the map.
Exactly.
Only stone. Iron chest to keep it in. Tons of stuff. And then I'm going to take a bunch of coal. Damn, it's scary running out here in the dark. Throw it in the stone furnace. We're going to have to set up a larger stone production if we want a serious war. It shouldn't be too hard. We'll just bring stone along and cook it near the coal line, same as we're doing for Ryan. We don't need... Like, I'm not really sure there's any other uses for stone.
Again, I don't know the extent of how...
It's plausible that there are, I mean... Not exactly a useless resource. Yeah, there are definite groups of,
yeah, to the northwest.
buildings or units or... Northwest is a disaster zone and we're not discussing it, but, the nearby ones that are turning.
Well, there are some showing up on the minimap in the northwest.
Oh, sorry, northwest. The northeast is the disaster zone. The northwest is fine.
Yeah.
Can't do west and east.
You're sufficiently shielded from by the natural curvature of the lake, hopefully. I assume they can't swim. I hope they can't swim.
I'm absolutely certain that at some point there are swimming enemies.
Oh, counts.
Like, why would you make a game like this and not include swimming enemies? What
You
would
raise
be
an
the
excellent point.
Presumably I can make floating turrets.
Or the like can't be attacked by puny groundlings, or do you mean like float over the water?
Has to be admitted, I'm not really seeing any floating turrets. There's somewhere that I'm not sure. I can use landfill though to replace water with land.
Okay, that's good. It means you can like
Oh,
build
that's
yourself a
useful
little
stone.
breakwater.
Takes 20 stone to create a filled area of water. Sensible.
Wood and stone is certainly land. Sweet.
Okay, so
I
what are we
can
trying to automate next?
Either walls or inserters.
What were we trying to do something else before that?
Or ammo.
Ammo. That's a nice easy one. Put it.
Why do all you litfags suggest Fagel's Homer? Fagel's is simplified, modernized Homer for illiterate teenagers.
That's the most lit thing I've ever heard. That's not a compliment.
I got that much at least. So yeah, is ammo used for anything other than putting it in guns?
It's ammo. I
Well,
don't know
I
how
don't know
you
whether
make
you
ammo
use
out
it
of
to
just
build,
metal. Just assume that explosives are abundant in the atmosphere.
You don't know, it's an alien world.
Maybe they're railguns. But look, just shush.
It works. Stop
Oh, I should make a
complaining.
submachine gun, shouldn't
Oh yeah. Don't need the one of those, I guess.
I? Switch my ammo to it. Switch weapon to it. That'll help me fight. I need to.
You will be like,
I've got to say, I'm really ready for fighting in sort of ammo. Like, all I've seen is some weird things on the radar, and I'm like, right, make shit tons of ammo.
that is the correct way to deal with this. You've got to be ready. Because
Exactly.
otherwise all your shit's going to get wrecked.
I'm like the best from Alpha Centauri. I'm like Morgan mixed with Santiago. I'm like the batshit insane, yeah, we'll fight you Spartans, mixed with greed is inherently ethical.
If you have a problem with us polluting
Capitalist.
your little planet here, just come at us. It's fine. We won't hold a grudge. Mostly because you'll be dead.
I could also start assembling shotguns. Made of? Oh, you require copper plate for those? Damn, the shotgun better be amazing.
I don't know. I don't imagine copper plate being any more scarce a resource than iron. It's just that we've not automated copper yet. Oh, it requires copper and iron.
Yeah. Although, given that I still have abundant electricity, kind of pushing it. Relatively abundant electricity. Maybe I should set up a second radar. Just to be on the safe side.
I don't know. I don't know how the radars work. They just kind of were there when I got here, and I'm like, yeah, there's this radar. It
It
works.
scans nearby sectors and actively reveals an area. So basically it's an early warning system combined with a sort of scouting technology for when you're lazy. As always.
Okay, so what does it actually give us? Is that what's giving us the red dots on the map? We didn't
Yeah,
have it,
this is
would we
what
not have
is
it?
giving us the large non-mini map. Is having radar.
Okay.
It
And does it
slowly
gradually
sort of
expand the area that it's seen, or is it just...
Yeah. These little black corners are areas that the radar hasn't scanned yet. You know, recall that earlier the radar hadn't scanned out far enough to see all this red.
I can't actually remember how far it had seen before, which is why I was asking.
Fair enough.
Okay, so just gradually expand the vision radius of your large map. That's cool. How up to date is the because there's like a sort of slightly larger, slightly lighter rectangle in the middle. Is that like your mini map, and then the stuff outside that is all the stuff in radar area? I don't know.
Alright. Green science means adding
Look
copper.
at all those conveyor belts.
I love the look of all this industry. It's pretty special. Anyway, I'm taking out all these trees because
They're in the way.
they're in the way, exactly. They're in the way of the glorious future.
Trees just keep doing this. When will they stop?
When will those leafy bastards learn? Anyway, yeah, to briefly expand on that, those trees are okay, probably. Now. Yeah, I aim to set up a copper refinery along here. We can add copper to our main line. It's going to have to go under this ammo factory, but whatever.
It does seem like it's going to be used for probably as many things as iron. Maybe, I don't know.
Almost as many, if not quite as many.
No.
So I think a similarly sized manufactory.
We're going to need copper wires, probably in the same quantity as cogs or something similar like that. Since they're in circuits, and I imagine circuits are required for probably everything that's a bit more complicated than what we're doing right now.
Each wall covers one tile,
Oh god.
so
It's gonna be a
Creating
while.
an adequate perimeter might be quite difficult. Anyway, let's make some of those stone furnaces. I guess I could start producing green signs by hand, but
How much do we need any of the things that green science gives us?
solar energy doesn't seem hugely useful. At least without batteries, it's kind of engines seem a bit useless. Circuit network is nice, like for true full-on signal sending intelligent automation. Then we definitely want that. Energy distribution I badly want for the medium electric pole. Big electric pole. Oh, we're going to need steel plates for those though.
How many science is it going to take though? Because if it's like, I'm seeing 100 science here, I don't see you manufacturing 100 green science by hand anytime soon.
Yeah. 250, 100, 75 for advanced material processing. We do desperately need the steel furnace, but not quite so desperately that I'm willing to manufacture.
Well, those electric
hold on.
poles.
Military 2, 20 green sign. That doesn't seem very useful. Just go for gun turret damage after bullet damage. Requires red signs. I like how military technology is super simple.
Just comes naturally.
Oh no, gun turret damage takes bullet shooting speed. That's the one. Bullet shooting speed. That's a technical term.
Very awkward way of saying rate of fire, I hope.
Maybe.
I can't imagine it means like projectile speed. Or maybe it does. I've not even seen you shoot a gun yet, so I have no idea what the bullets look like.
It's not generating power, apparently.
Oh. So that means it's not getting enough water.
No, hold on. It's not in range of a pylon, so it's not connected to the network. It's not outputting power.
That would do it, yeah.
Temperature is only 83°, though. It's a little inefficient.
Okay. So there's presumably some kind of optimal ratio of, like, boilers to generators.
Looks like 3 to 2 is about right if we want to keep them both going at full power.
I'm not going to dispute your claims.
In any case, let's see if we can move this copper line. Like our stone storage, no one picks up anything. The wall is in the way, so probably that. Oops. That doesn't actually matter, does it? Still knows. It's gonna. Now we're just gonna move it down on it. So we can fit a second boiler on the bottom here. There we go. Keep us in electricity a little longer. Obviously we're getting I wouldn't say a case of diminishing returns. Each boiler is worth exactly as much as the previous one. But adding one boiler now only means a 20% gain in electricity availability. 100% gain.
Indeed.
Okay, so how many furnaces do I have here? 1, 6, 10. Good number. That's exactly how many I have again as well. Copper, so so far. It looks like we have.
Go on.
I was going to say, it looks like we have enough copper to be getting on with, but.
Well, you're not using a lot of copper. Oh, the coal? Yeah, the coal line's back up all the way.
If we split the coal on the upper half, it'd still have enough coal. Like six inserters seems like sufficient numbers. Oh, I need copper plate. Let's go steal some from them.
Yeah, you should be backed up on copper plates.
Yeah.
active on copper plates. Good. I'm not getting enough iron ore. I guess you're not using all of your iron plates anyway, so you don't need to increase all of the amount of iron ore you're getting anyway.
Yeah, like right now I have plenty of iron ore. You know, it is slowly being used up here.
That is what I thought was happening. I couldn't tell for certain without seeing the end of that conveyor. But yeah, at least it's easy to tell when you're like low on iron ore relative to relative to coal, so to speak.
Getting more iron is really easy though.
Yeah, you just slap down a couple more of those things.
I don't know. Power. It ought to be sufficient. Not actually. Halfway along the list of furnaces. Make a few more of those. I lay out the
You'll use them all eventually, so it doesn't matter if they're sitting in your inventory for a while.
exactly. How to bring copper across or split the copper.
I think you should make the one going up to these furnaces like the main one, and then have an inserter going to your like small, like
Yeah, that's actually much more
early
efficient.
one, rather than have an inserter come off the current one.
Yeah, I was going to use a splitter, but
Splitter might also be good. It doesn't really matter if like that small area is backed on copper forever. Probably. I don't know actually now that I think about it.
like eventually this small area down here is just going to be obsolete, and I'll probably take it apart. Now, or at least for a while, it's been the only thing providing any science going.
And it's done an admirable job. It's got you through all of the red science stuff pretty much, at least whatever it was that was left when we started this stream. I don't know how much tech you already gone through to get here.
I don't know why I'm going so silly. It was incredibly silly.
I'm not sure exactly what you're trying to build, but
Right now I'm going round a radar.
you
Like
can
the
use
radar is not...
because the radar can go anywhere.
Yeah, the radar isn't a
Well,
terminal
power.
component. Oh, sorry, it's not a... It is a terminal component. It's not
It's
useful
not
for anything
a
except being a radar.
location sensitive component.
Yeah, it's not location sensitive. There are no processes that follow from it. Like, it won't interrupt anything to move.
As long as it's somewhere and it is powered, then it's all good.
Exactly. I think perhaps their location matters for where they're scanning. I placed one to the north to see if I end up with a... It does seem like I'm scanning the north a bit earlier, which is sensible because that's where these massive concentrations of something bad are. Right, there's a simple combined copper and coal line.
Oh, we're still doing combined one.
Oh, we've actually, oh shit. We need more coal. Badly.
Really?
Good thing we
Where's
have these
the
miners
got
ready to
coal
go.
efficient?
I can just throw one right down. Powered. Start getting more coal straight away.
Oh, yeah, that's...
It's not particularly efficient because there's not...
Oh, wow, yeah, you have to be feeding this whole thing off like one coal miner.
Yeah, like you don't need a whole lot of coal, it turns out. I think a couple more, perhaps, just to be on the safe side. We'll add another iron miner as well.
Kind of an awkward layout.
We're going to increase our coal consumption a lot when we start making steel.
And yeah, we're automating smelting of iron and copper, which is already probably a pretty big coal sink.
Yeah.
Although, God, that coal field's huge.
It really is massive. The principal annoyance is going to be that obviously you can't mine every tile of it simultaneously, because you have to have lines to bring the coal out again. Stupid lack of teleportation.
Maybe there's a tech for that.
Okay, let's go place our additional iron mine. You know, not just I've commented that, oh, the enemies aren't attacking me, I kind of like it. You know, I wouldn't want to be constantly fending off enemies while I'm thinking about how to make things. It's like being interrupted.
It would destroy your train of thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, the bottom of those power boilers with flashing fuel light, I don't know whether that means they're not getting power to start boiling, or whether that just means they're not got
I think it's because they ran out of coal for a while there.
Okay, good. I was worried that, like...
The horrifying scenario is the boilers run out of coal, and then the coal mines stop going because there's no electricity.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
This is the inevitable consequence of putting your boilers right at the end of your coal system, but I don't see any other way to do it with the coal on the left and the water on the right.
Not without a lot of conveyor belt.
I'd have to bring the coal all the way around to the boilers and then all the way back.
Yes, that is the only way I can see you doing it any other way. Which would be quite a faff, since you'd have to route it under your entire ad hoc science thing.
Yeah.
Oh well, you're stacking up on coal now, so we can call it a problem for the future if you want, but we can deal with it now.
Right now it seems dealt with. The coal is going to back up all the way to the mine at the current rate. I mean, it's already fully backed up on both the top and bottom.
Well, we are going to start using a lot more coal very soon as we start mass-producing copper plates.
Yes. Although... I mean, it's coming off this same coal line here. Like, a large portion of that missing coal is just all the stuff that's backed up along the copper plate area right now. I'm not even convinced we were actually losing coal on that. I think I might just have absorbed a lot of the backlog. No, wait, we must have been, because the backlog comes from before the boiler area, obviously. I know what I should do. Sorry, I'm being an idiot. Right before the boiler section, we should create an iron box. And a pair of places. Discussing this earlier, this creates a large buffer. So, in fact, it doubles the buffer that's inside the boiler area because it's using both sides now. Maybe the inserter always places on the right. It's placing in the same direction. It does seem to, doesn't it? No, I think it'll place on the maybe when the right's full, it'll place on the left. I kind of want to watch and see what happens there.
That's useful to know.
Actually, it can't keep up. You need to make some faster
inserters. You're only putting stuff in there at the rate of one, like, little grabber, and conveyor belts move stuff faster than a grabber. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm using fast places now instead. That should work a little better. Okay.
First time seeing a fast insert.
It can keep up with all these boilers, but it won't place on the left of the conveyor belt. They'll only place on the right when they're going in the same direction. Otherwise, they'll always place on the far side. And as you can see, the one on the left is still going. It'll fill up this iron chest eventually. That'll give us an absolute massive amount of coal.
It's going to be a little awkward when you want to expand your power supply, but that's a problem for the future. Like, that little area is very crowded right now. Yeah, the stockpile is backing up. Okay, that looks good. Hopefully that will give you time to notice any like deficiency in your coal supplies, should they ever
Hopefully.
occur in the future.
I mean, obviously, if the coal supply deficiency is happening inside a chest, I need to check the chest. Probably later on I'll get intelligent chests that can alert me and stuff.
Hopefully. Also, you're not actually feeding any copper to your copper line at present.
Oh, I don't need to right now, I don't have to set up.
Just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. You've got like a little thing with an insert there. I'm not really sure what it's supposed
One
to be
hopes I will not
doing
make the
down
mistake of wondering why my copper furnaces aren't going and then realising it's because they're being fed copper.
there. That was a one-time thing, I'm sure.
That was a one-time thing. Too far away. Oh, damn it.
Use the long inserters?
No, because they're too long.
What do you mean?
These furnaces are...
They're 2 tiles
check.
wide. And the long inserter inserts
Right.
2 tiles distance.
Doesn't that
So-
work?
Okay.
How irritating. I don't want to use a bunch of long inserters for that, though. I can just pick
It
these
does
up
seem
and move
odd
them
to
on.
use long inserters for a job that would be done perfectly acceptably by short inserters.
Because they're more expensive.
Hmm.
Marginally. I mean, it's not like resources are the bottleneck in this game.
It is how much infrastructure you put
Exactly.
into it.
It's all about time being the bottleneck rather than resources. Awkwardly placed. It's also optimally placed, because it's stretched as tight as possible between those things.
The purpose of pylons is to be awkwardly placed, probably.
Oh,
Make the tessellation problems a little more difficult to solve.
I was going to say the purpose of pylons is to be awkwardly placed as a statement that's just true about life. One more inserters. Crap, I'm running out of
We
copper
were
plates.
we were on automating that before, like, we decided to automate copper. Do you need copper for inserters?
Yeah, they use wire.
Automate copper we shall.
Yeah, what I haven't checked for a while is whether the iron system is actually... Yeah, it's producing a large surplus now.
Yeah, we got plenty of iron ore, and
And it's going
looks
right
like
way to
plenty
the
of iron
back.
plates as well.
And the tremendous advantage of building everything going from right to left is that that's the default orientation for some things.
It does make it a lot easier if everything is moving in the same direction. From a sort of how to think about things standpoint.
Precisely.
Now, where's the copy going to go on the main line?
I'm gonna place it...
Above the iron, I guess, is where it's looking like it's going to end up.
Yeah. Sake.
That's the correct number of spaces apart. Looks like 2 is the standard.
Yeah, 2 is the
Oh,
standard
you've got to have
spacing.
that little corner there, of course.
I've corrected the other slider on before. This is also the best point for crossing the ammo factory because it's only 1 wide at that point. Look at all that. Look at all that ammo. It's a very satisfying amount of bullets, I have to say.
Think how many aliens you can shoot.
I am thinking. I could shoot so many aliens. I feel slightly bad, but not like bad enough to not do it.
I'm sure the day will come when you're glad that you have as much ammo as you do.
I feel like it will, to be honest.
So yeah, are you just going to manually restock the turrets?
Oh, hold
That
on.
certainly seems like by far the most convenient.
This might be why we're back to not fine, because there's not actually any requirement for transporters right now. We'll see if that's
Well, everything that like iron is being made into is backed up. Therefore, it's perfectly acceptable for iron to be backed up.
Yeah, but remember, I like things being backed up because that means that I have a surplus.
True, true.
Looks like we still have a large surplus of coal being placed into this chest. We haven't quite turned on all of these copper as yet.
Well, you haven't connected either the copper or the electricity to the miners, unless you've done that in the 30 seconds since I checked.
No, I haven't. Around instead. Go me.
Every so often it is probably a good idea to check that the rest of your factory hasn't burned to the ground while you weren't looking.
I don't think things catch fire, though it would be an interesting addition to the game if they did.
One of those unpowered inserters. The iron one. I guess it's always there from a half-formed idea a while ago. Are you going to move those pylons one tile to the left, or are you going to just add extraneous pylons?
I deactivated something.
Oh god.
Just a random light bulb in the area. I thought I'd cut off the power to the iron mines.
Okay.
Turned out I was just being an idiot. It's just that one light bulb next to the medium pylon. Medium pylon? The intermediary pylon.
We're all safe. So yeah, it looks like all that's left is the output for the copper plates and to directly connect the
Oh man,
copper ore.
say pylons get awkwardly placed, but I find this particular column here that you'll see in 30 seconds or so just glorious. They're just lined up, they're parallel with each other, they're running down each side of the... Damn, that's...
Time for an efficiency boner.
Kind of. Yeah.
You did it right.
Alright, let's activate the copper thing. Have to reach over... Start in copper. And we can probably connect the copper back up. I'm carrying around a whole bunch of copper and iron ore. I don't have any boxes being set up to... I have this one for copper. Not the wood, not the wood! The copper!
Not again. Got PTSD.
Alright, we are now manufacturing large quantities of copper.
Excellent. Yeah, it all looks right to me.
We can possibly write to you there's vicious stone paving everywhere. Your idea
Also, your copper plates are single-sided on the opposite side to your other stuff, aren't they? Actually, no, they're all on the lower, never mind, it's fine.
Okay, let's check our electricity supply. Let's check any pylons to do that. Ooh,
Yeah,
running out of electricity again.
You just added a huge number of stuff. Yeah, a huge amount of stuff. It would be unreasonable if, the several dozen inserters that just got added didn't take anything.
Yeah.
So how are we going to deal with this, with the power situation?
Well,
So
the
you're not
obvious thing
gonna
to
be able-
do is extract more power. We are kind of low on coal. There's only a little coming in after all the extraction is done.
Well, again, we did increase it massively with the copper plate usage.
And we're going to be increasing it again if we add more electricity generation. So let's start off by adding additional coal mining.
better to make sure that's secure before we like get too caught up in like pulling up all of the boilers and stuff and replacing them in more future-minded arrangement.
We do not want a coal disaster. Although once the copper's backed up all the way, which it is now, we'll probably stop chewing through coal in the top area.
No, that's a good plan.
Said we do have planned uses for the coal.
We need like wires and circuit boards and inserters and oh god.
Quite correct, we have a large number of planned uses for
I don't like that layout. I think like
coal mine.
yeah, I think having the two of them have input onto like the same sort of tile. You have like your current ones and you just turn them around. You can have one like
right, yeah, that would minimise the amount of area covered by conveyor belts going across the coal.
Yeah.
We should take this opportunity to fix it. It'll only get harder if we wait longer.
Pretty much.
That's the actress said to the bishop.
Because yeah, just looking at that arrangement like as it is now, when it comes to the next one, you're going to end up like walling yourself off from like the centre of the coal field, like putting them all around.
It feels actively painful placing.
Yeah, I was about to say like placing two tiles apart. That seems unnecessary. There we go.
Okay, now we're even using both sides of the conveyor belt for maximum transport, but that's because one of them is still kind of the wrong way around. Whatever.
You can fix that whenever you put another one in. Although actually now with that current arrangement, it doesn't leave any space for the pylon to power that fifth one, does it?
We can bring them around the outside, at least for now. It's not too awful to have to replace them later. Like, granted in the net scheme of things, we'll need extra spaces in this arrangement to place pylons. But maybe larger pylons can distribute electricity over a larger area?
That would help. I don't know. I guess I keep like trying to over efficiency this for the future. You're like, okay, now we need the perfect layout of miners, conveyor belts, and pylons before we can continue. And now you see why another reason I don't want to play this game myself, because I'd be like, shit, now I need to like, get some graph paper.
Yeah, I know the feeling of like being paralysed by. You know what? We don't actually have enough copper mining. Which has not been a problem since ever.
Well, that's because like you're only using copper in that one tiny little automated area for Red Science. Now we've got like 10 furnaces running all day. Yeah, how much copper is even being mined? We haven't been here for a while. Oh yeah, one miner probably can't furnace 10 furnaces. Furnace.
Finish.
Kill me. Make it.
Arranged, but... Okay, now we're getting some reasonable quantities of wall. And I want to start placing it, just in case. So what I want is to force enemies to go past the gun turrets.
Can you place them like on top of the walls, or do they have to be outside the walls to shoot at things outside the walls?
They have to be... Yeah, they can't shoot over walls, and they can't be placed on top of walls. I mean, I can place the wall right up to next to them, but a completely sealed perimeter...
So where are we going to start walling? Like, okay, just going to do that.
Very simply, I'm going to put it across the bottom left, and then I'm going to bring it up to the second gun turret, which is over by the stone mining area.
Okay, so I was just thinking they might come in through like the copper area. See what I mean?
There's water to the right of the copper, and if they want to come in through the copper area, they're going to go past the copper gun turret. Okay. Which, for now at least, will be sufficient to kill most attackers, I hope. Later on, presumably there will be enemies who require either sterner defences or layered defences, or who knows.
I would certainly hope the aliens get bigger. Also, those miners aren't powered.
Yeah, I've added a pylon
Okay,
now
good.
during the delay. My secondary concern is that because there's been such delay in getting any enemies on here, we're only going to get any enemies by the time they're really huge and dangerous.
I have no idea how the difficulty of this is supposed to scale up.
Yeah.
Is it normal to not have fought anything by this point? I don't know.
Anyway, I should also lay out some walls to the north, I think.
I think the west and the northwest are the more dangerous. Just because you've not got that huge lake between you and anything that wants to come fight you.
Yeah.
Although the west is the direction we're going to be expanding in, so it's like, yeah, where do we draw the line there? We don't have to keep tearing walls down and putting them back up.
I'm kind of okay with the west because that's where most of my gun turrets are and it's where I spend most of my time. But
so just walling off the north is good enough.
yeah, I just want to. For now, I don't have enough wall to wall off everything. Just want to force enemies to go past my gun turrets. They want to get at me.
Sort of exercise our tower defense skills.
Essentially. That is the combat aspect of this game, is essentially tower defense.
Now, do they try and run around the walls, or do they just run into and through them?
That's my second question, is will they try to run around the walls, or will they try to just break a hole in them? Do I need gun turrets defending the walls?
You need an entire perimeter of turrets with walls behind them.
Save the game. That was a sudden
We'll
sense
find out,
of caution.
one way or another.
Right. Alright, it looks like our copper manufactory is going full tilt. There might not be quite enough copper to back things up, but
Is bullet speed actually researching?
it's the only thing I can research with just red science.
Yeah, but I'm like looking at the bar. I don't know whether that's actually going.
Oh, it probably isn't.
Okay, because that means there's a problem with the red science circulation.
Red science is there. No, the labs seem to be going. I think it just takes a really bloody long time.
Okay.
Maybe I need more
I don't know.
labs. Yeah, because
It's the first time I've actually looked at the bar and been like, is that bar incrementing? I can't tell. Yeah, the labs are going. Okay, it's just slow as balls.
Yeah, I'm gonna add another lab.
I have another lab? Yeah, you should probably throw that down.
The second gun turret. Gun turret.
Put gun turrets on your gun turrets.
Breaking apart this rock. Oh, got a whole bunch of stones for breaking the rock. Okay, now I have a solid barrier of gun turrets over the northwest.
You feel safe.
I feel a little safer. It's still possible for them to come in directly from the west and wreck the coal mine. Well, as discussed, losing the coal mine would be a tragedy. Let's build another gun turret. Made of guns. No, it's actually made of gears and plates. Well, whatever. Okay, this gun turret just needs to cover the coal mine. Need more ammo. Luckily we have an ammo factory that I believe has yeah, it's produced an absolute surplus.
Okay. Just leave that stockpiled, I guess,
I wonder
or...
if there's research that ups the magazine size.
I presume there's probably
Flips
better
on.
turrets. Or... I don't know. Like, you mentioned the laser turrets exist, so I've got to be like... Well, at some point, presumably all of this is obsolete unless, like, the bullets are better than lasers. I don't know, maybe it depends on what you research first or
I think
whatever.
they deal different types of damage. Because my armor has resistances to acid, explosion, fire, and physical. And my guns are described as dealing physical. Well, the gun turrets are described as dealing physical damage.
Okay, this is much more in depth in terms of the like combat than I was originally thinking.
Yeah, gun turret damage is 4 plus 0.4 physical, with 100% damage bonus. Shooting speed is 10 plus 2 per second, range is 17.
And
And
I guess pluses are from Tex. Or
yeah, well, presumably shooting speed will improve the shooting speed.
you don't need to like make a thing that gets better shooting speed or whatever.
Alright. Now it's time to figure out how to create a manufactory for the inserters.
Which
Green science.
What do they need? Copper wire? Or do they just need copper plates?
They need copper plates turned into copper wire. Let me have a look, actually.
This
Okay,
copper
so
wire seems like
They
something
use
you're going to
one
need to
electronic
automate.
circuit, one gear wheel, and one iron plate. I have
Ooh.
a stream of gear wheels. I have a stream of
So we
iron
need-
plates. Electronic circuit is made of an iron plate and 3 copper cables. I have a stream of plates, and a copper cable is made of a copper plate. So I need
Copper
one.
cable looks like the next one.
Yeah, I think I just need a copper cable stream because they're going to be used in all kinds of things.
Yeah. Like, I'd be very surprised if copper cable isn't going to be used regularly throughout this.
I wouldn't be surprised if I don't need an electronic circuit stream as well. And I
I
actually
think
need a
you're probably
steel
going to need
plate stream.
circuits, especially since you're going to have to manufacture you're going to have to mass produce circuits for.
Man, this trunk is going to be huge, even if it's just using the really common components.
I don't know whether that's going to be a problem or whether that's going to be okay, but it's probably going to get complicated fast.
It's going to get complicated fast, I think, is the expected outcome.
But that's what we're here for, isn't it?
Correct. Alright, let's start with the copper cable. Stop it. Plates. The other type of plates. I assume we're going to want quite a lot of copper cable, so I'll produce 2.
Probably at
Two
least as much
assemblers.
as cogs, possibly even more than cogs. If like you need 3 copper cable to 1 circuit.
Actually, I think I might go 3. I mean, I only need enough to keep a constant abundance of them, and
And we
So
can always
architecture
expand
is-
production later if we need to.
yeah, the architecture is very extensible. Okay. Looks like this one's going to be really simple. I'm just going to place a bunch of colours. It's going to be very similar to the Cogs one.
Yep. How you doing after North? Yeah, it looks like you are. Then yeah, you'll just need like a single grabber pulling stuff off the copper cable line. Probably don't even need a splitter on it. Well, I don't know.
I
Given this is going to probably need to take a lot of copper later, it might be better to put a splitter on it.
I personally prefer grabbers just because splitters mean I'm always taking it into 2 halves, unless I then add another splitter to get 3/4. Yeah, I can only get powers of
fine.
2 that way. Whereas grabbers, I can upgrade to fast grabbers if I need more production, or I can add more parallel grabbers if I need more production.
That's a
The
good
more
point. They're a lot
expensive-
easier to control.
Like, a splitter is good for when I genuinely do want to split something in half. Or, like here, for the... yeah. Like over where I'm splitting the coal for the coal and iron furnaces. That seems like a natural split in half operation.
Grabbers do give you a lot more control about exactly how much is going on the line.
Okay, I now have coal backed up all the way to the line. Fantastic.
Good, good. We can feel safe
Oh,
that we're not going
fuck.
to suddenly run out of power.
No, the problem was that I needed more electricity, and that's why I was getting more coal to begin with.
Oh yeah. God damn.
It's easy to forget what you're doing in this game.
That's because there's so many things that need doing.
There are many things that need to be arranged.
So yeah, honestly, I don't like your current like power layout. It's not extensible for the future at all. You're either gonna have to just sort of add on to it in a completely separate manner, or you're gonna have to pull the entire thing up and start again.
Yeah, because I don't think you can. Although maybe.
Problem is the coal supply. You really only want to like send one coal supply to all of your power stations.
Yeah, but that means the boilers have to be all along. No, hold on. Let me see if I can figure out a clever way of doing that. So I want
Maybe have
2.
Maybe have the boilers sort of go along the water side instead of what you've currently got. Actually, no way. No, the coal needs to go all the way to the coast to get to the boilers.
Well, I can have pipes, I believe. I believe pipes can carry water, so it might lose temperature. But I can have pipes between the offshore pump and the boilers.
Okay, that makes things a lot more sense. So you could just have like a big long row of pipes going sort of parallel to the coastline, feeding into a bunch of generators, and then you can have the boilers along the copper line. Well, that still leaves us with a limited amount of sort of copper line that we can attach boilers to. What we really want to do is extend the length of the extend the length of the coal line somehow, so that we can add as many boilers to the coal line as we want. See what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, hold on, I can't rotate the pipe, so maybe that means it's not supposed to be placed. I can place random. Okay. Yeah, that much. Okay, now I genuinely have run out of things that require green science.
Oh yeah, things like
Oh no, hold on, I still have the shotgun. As well.
We are a long way from being able to automate green science.
Not terribly far, but a decent distance.
We need like...
Oh no, okay, pipe just rotates automatically.
Okay, so as long as it's got something to like snap to, it will rotate.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a lot easier if our copper line is running parallel to the water in some way.
The coal line is from parallel to the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way we can just extend it to the north or the south, depending on which way you prefer to move it. And then we can just have the furnaces sort of lined up along the coal line. Yeah, you can just use a pipe to make a corner to fit the boilers on the end of the furnaces.
Okay, so if we move the... Okay, so if we had a coal line... do this. I don't really want to move those furnaces though, since right now... it's powering... things. Specifically, everything.
Yeah, things will fall apart a little bit. I guess you could remove one of the furnaces, like the top one, and then just sort of route it to the north or something like that. Oh, another thing, have we checked how many furnaces a single like pump can supply? Is it 3? Because like it's been 3 every time I've been here, so I don't know.
A pump can supply... Actually, no. Presumably there's a limit to how much water you can get, but so far the limit has been temperature, like 3 boilers, can't power 3 engines without losing efficiency, without losing temperature. But the water has always remained near 10. I haven't been able to boil the water away as fast as one pump can put it out.
Exactly.
But presumably it's possible.
See, this is the point where I would just like look at the wiki and find out what the ratio is, because I'm like a cheater like that. But
I'm still having fun experimenting, so presumably at some point
I will not force your hand on that. I will just continue my like backseat gaming.
Honestly, it's working really well. Okay, so suppose we had a pipe. Okay, place the boilers. If 3 is sufficient for 2, then 2 is sufficient. Go and grab myself a stack of coal so that I can turn things on
Yeah.
without having to mess around too much. It's our steam engine. Currently not powering anything. But if it's fine.
Also, while we're here, I think this is a good time to test how many furnaces a single pump can hold. Because that's going to be relevant if you want to be like min-max efficiency.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good point.
Assuming we have enough boilers to do that.
They require a stone furnace to make, but
That's inconvenient.
that is to say they require 5 stone to make.
Okay, that's not as inconvenient. Do we actually have any raw stone? We only have stone bricks, or are those
Hold
not
on.
different?
It's going to chew through a lot of coal. It's because I can't.
Yeah, we're currently oversupplying on coal, so I wouldn't say it's that big of a deal. Can you not put like... yeah. That just go through it quite quickly, doesn't it?
Okay, it looks like it stops consuming coal after it gets up to temperature. It takes about 1 and a bit coal. Something.
Or at least it consumes coal a lot slower after it's got going, which makes sense.
But it looks like they're all at 10 water. They're all at 10, I mean, not at 9.9 or anything, so...
Okay, so one pump produces a lot of water, it looks like.
Either it's... I think it's just unlimited. I don't think boilers consume it. I think steam engines might consume it, but... because the steam engines here have 9.8 water.
That's a good point, yeah. It might not be a limit.
So here's the question, if I put a pipe there... Steam in... that does work. It says the steam engine has... Oh no, the steam engine's only at... That's because one. Okay, so 2 boilers isn't quite sufficient to get up to 100 degrees.
Okay, so there's like a minimum number of boilers you need as well to hit like max efficiency.
Looks like it. Or the pipe is sapping a lot of the heat.
That could be a...
It does look like it. Yeah, because...
Oh, when you connect it directly, is it like on 100?
Oh no, hold on, it's because I've not fueled the boiler again.
Oh.
No, okay, the boilers are now all at 100, but the pipe's only at
Okay.
92. Wait, the pipe's at 92, but the steam engine's at 97? Thermodynamics how? Alright, so it looks like some temperature is lost in the pipe, because the steam engines below are at 100. So you can't just...
Okay, so we don't want to use pipes. We don't want to use pipes at all.
Ideally, we don't want to use them at all, but I think I would accept one pipe if it meant I could get away with...
One pipe just so we can turn them like on a corner is probably helpful. Actually, you can just put the pipe before the boilers, between the pump and the boilers, and then like turn them at a right angle.
That would be a bit better, I think.
That way you can have all the boilers parallel to the water.
I remember the tutorial said there were like several different good layouts for steam engines, but I can't remember any of them.
Okay.
No, we don't.
We'll just do what works for now. We can worry about min-maxing our precise like thing. As long as we've got enough, it's good enough.
Yeah, okay, so we want a coal line that comes up along the edge and goes under each pipe. Yeah?
I'm not
So
sure
the pipes
exactly
are
what
going to
you're
be connected.
describing, so I'll just let you do what you think is right
The pipes
now.
are going to be connected to the pumps.
We don't want one right angle pipe to direct the. Actually, I guess we could pipe the water to wherever we need it, couldn't we? But that's probably more faffing about than necessary.
So I mean, I'm not going to put one here because I can't put a second engine there, but up here
Basically,
it's good
we don't
engines.
want the boilers going west from the ocean. We want them going north or south, depending on which side.
Yeah, there's not really any space to the south because there's an outcropping of the lake, and then it turns quite sharply. Oh, actually, there's a good deal of space here.
Okay.
The south would actually be
good to
better for
know.
now. We don't need to go for a huge one. And past the copper mine, it's not really possible because of the diagonality of the lake. But perhaps we could just overcome that by building a giant pier.
We can build it north and south along the lake. We don't need to go in one direction.
Yeah. North is more initially rocky, but I think it goes a bit further.
Yeah.
In any case.
Yeah, and then we want a pump on the water, a right angle pipe directing the.
Well, the first thing I'm actually going to do is set up a temporary
cold line, so we can plan out the layout, or
a temporary boiler set up to the north, so that everything stays powered while I.
Oh, I see. So you want to tear up the current one sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I just want to take out part of it so that I can start extending the coal line to the south.
That's good. It would be a lot harder to move the coal line as it currently is than it is. So those only connect end to end. They don't connect side by side. Yeah, the boilers.
So far, I haven't been able to get them to connect side by side.
And you need that tool belt thing or whatever it's called that lets you have more inventory slots, or is that not more hotbar slots? It's actually more inventory slots.
It's hotbar slots, and it would be really useful, but it costs green science. Obviously, adding a tool belt requires some serious technical know-how. I do have the option of rotating the steam engine connecting to the boilers in a north-south direction.
Well, if that works, then we don't even need corner pipes. We can just rotate the boiler, rotate the engine, and then connect them end to end.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I see what you.
Can I just stack more boilers up in a square if I'm going to just power them, feed them by hand, that is?
I don't know. Either way, the lower of those two is a bit too far out to the west because we're not going to have enough room to run a coal line through there as it is. So it's not very good even as a temporary one because we're going to not have the room to build the thing we want to build whilst the temporary one's covering for us.
This is a hassle.
It's mostly just because of the space constraints that are really making it awkward. We know how all this works, we just need to fit it into the space.
Well, the space constraints are entirely my own fault for bringing the iron along there. Would probably be a little to the left, but I don't want to.
Yeah, the iron needs to come from the north, and
it needs to be coming along here somewhere, doesn't it? It can't be left of here by more than a couple of blocks.
And you laid down that iron ore line way before we even knew what the hell we were doing. Okay. So now can you just slap like an engine on the top of the things facing to the north? Not the way. Okay. I think I'm just behind.
Oh, you mean? I
I
can't
don't know.
see
I've only seen you place the engines such that their widest width is on the east-west direction. Can you place them such that their widest width is along the north-south direction? Yeah, you definitely can. I just saw you like rotate it. So yeah, you definitely can.
I'm just wondering, if I put one here and add a pipe, it will probably work.
Well, oh no, that green's
No,
just
hold on, I know
showing
what I
that
can
it's placeable, not
I can
disconnected,
put two
right?
like that, and then add a boiler instead of a pipe. Not
And delay is telling me here, like never exactly sure what you're talking about.
that's unfortunate. I have an answer.
Okay, yeah, you've done exactly what I hoped would be possible. Is that getting water? Okay, you need to pipe it.
Yeah, the water comes up through this additional boiler.
Oh yeah,
Boiler will just
use a
come
boiler
through.
instead of a pipe. That's fine. Don't lose any heat that way.
Oh Christ, production's dropped dramatically.
I think things have been like only half powered for the last while. Oh no, wait, no. I never thought I
No, we have plenty of temperature is high in all the boilers, in all the engines.
What's effective productivity?
I'm not really
What
sure
do
what this
you mean by
production and
productivity?
satisfaction mean. Like, consumption.
Maybe it's because you're running 4 generators off 4 boilers at the moment. Oh no, that's satisfaction.
Oh, right.
Power. Okay. No, I see what you mean. I thought you were talking about the boilers for a second there.
Right, yeah, because I was going to take away these 2 boilers, wasn't I? Only that's not quite right. I was supposed to be taking away the bottom boilers.
Moving the top thing does give us the room to start routing coal into sensible places. Moving the top, like, engines or whatever. You can actually, like, look at the little thing when you mouse over them so I can start using the correct word. Steam engine, okay. Moving the top steam engine will, like, give us the space we need to start routing coal.
Not really. Okay, we now have a space to route coal north, which is at least a start.
That is pretty much what I'm talking about.
Not great, but I guess it'll do. Alright, so suppose we place pumps. This shoreline is too,
I think what we should do is have a main line of coal going sort of up along the north, pretty much parallel to where you've got the iron ore. And then you should pull off that one onto some short conveyor belts for each individual stack of boilers. Rather than trying to have the main coal line hit every single boiler. Instead, just branch off and make sure that the grabbers are pulling off enough coal for exactly that number of boilers. See what I mean?
okay, so you're saying we take where the current coal line is coming into our rightward setup. You want to make that go north-south, and
Pretty much just a conveyor belt straight north from pretty much where the remaining upper steam engine is, just a little bit to the left of that. Then just go straight north, and then whenever it comes up that it's now perpendicular to wherever we've got our boiler arrangements, we just pull off of that there straight to the boilers. Exactly how we're going to arrange the boilers and steam engines to fit in the space we've got, I'm not precisely certain at this stage. But I think we should just start laying down sort of a framework of conveyor belts to give an idea of where we're going to fit.
okay, so my thinking is we're bringing. I mean, the trouble is there's not really any space for boilers along because of the irregularity of the floor line. It's going to have to be constantly changing direction. It's not going to work very well. Whereas if we go south, there's this fairly long area of relatively straight shoreline, which I think has the right properties. Just need to bring... Well, actually, looking at the consumption graph, if we just took down the radar...
Does that use a lot of power?
Yeah, it uses huge amounts of power. Like, ignore the graphs for the moment, look just at the consumption field on the left. The radar uses 600 kilowatts. The next biggest thing is either mining or assembly at 200 kilowatts.
Oh wow. Yeah, you're right
Taking
about
down
that.
both radar would starve our... I mean, obviously the problem with taking down both radar is we not have radar.
It's
purple?
Their,
There's
boiler.
purple. Well, there's red.
What?
There's little purple dots on the even more expanded map.
What are those? Then
Yeah.
those like the next tier of alien.
Maybe? Maybe they're entirely different things. Maybe red is only static structures, and purple is unit.
Oh, like red is like hives and purple creatures.
It could be. Hmm. Okay.
Also, returning to the north, you can just use pipes from like the pump to the boilers to compensate for the irregularity of the coastline. I would say.
that'll
yeah.
work, yeah. Let's give that a try. Pipe. Start producing it now.
I guess we need to decide what we want a unit of boilers to be. Do we just want to do the current setup with
3 to 2.
boilers and
Or
two?
Do we want to go like
steam
6
engines?
to... No, hold on. So if you look at the number of boilers we can feed off of a single conveyor belt, it's 3 on each side, right? Because a longer chain of boilers doesn't really help. Although no, a
As far as
longer
we're
chain of...
aware, yeah. A longer chain of boilers might be able to feed more
Yeah,
steam engines in an efficient fashion.
6 boilers in a row could probably feed 4 steam engines. Ratios behave reasonably. Which would
I've
seem
not been
logical.
tracking that well enough to be sure. I will take your word for it.
Performance is still low for some reason, even though we now have only 4 engines. I think splitting the water flow makes it behave a bit weirdly.
No idea.
Let's check on.
Are they all hovering about the middle? Is that how they always work, or? I suppose I've actually looked at the performance bar and realised that that's a thing that exists.
Oh yeah, the performance goes up significantly if it's just 1 engine on 3 boilers. But I think I think it's an acceptable performance drop to go to 2 to 3. Maybe 1 to 2 would be better. Maybe 4 boilers per 2 generators.
Okay, yeah, you do get a fair bit more performance, although not. It is a net increase to steam engines on your 3 boilers. Assuming like the bar is linear in terms of the value you get out of X amount of distance off the bar. See what I mean? The total amount of filled performance bar with 2 steam engines being fed by 3 is more than 1 steam engine being fed by 3.
It's kind of crazy. I now have 2 fed by 5, but the performance is still hovering around half.
Do we even know whether the stuff flows correctly? I don't even know if that's like getting fed by all of them.
Man, I'm so confused by the performance on these steam engines. And there just doesn't seem to be any difference between 3 to 2 and...
Also, we still don't know whether we're overloading the water pump.
Possibly,
I
but
don't
the
know if
water
there's any way
seems to be
to
at
test
9.9 or
I
9.8
guess
for all
so.
units.
That's probably fine then, yeah. I guess
in this
water.
case, like 3 to 2 is probably just acceptable.
It certainly worked for us so far.
Hang on, maybe the performance is reflecting the production, the electricity. But
That's what I thought it meant.
I don't really know what the production satisfaction.
Well, I presume it produces so many kilowatts from each like furnace, and as that production bar goes up, it's producing more kilowatts or less if it goes down.
Okay, I think it's possible to worry too much about these things.
Oh, you mean on the network infograph? I think the production on the network infograph can't go much higher than the satisfaction because like there's not anywhere to send that power to. I think the full height of the production bar is like our maximum amount of power we can produce. See what I mean? Not the like the maximum amount. Yeah. With that bar on the electric network graph being halfway up the production for satisfaction, I've already forgotten what the graph looks like. It doesn't matter. It was fine. Was the impression I got.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just confusing myself in circles trying to get the ratios right.
See if we can figure out how to get this. And if it turns out things can just pass through pipes, I think.
What can pass through pipes?
It looks like I can build conveyors and pipes on the same square, but I don't think things can pass under them.
I could not tell you. Can you like drop some coal on one, see what happens?
Dropping things.
Is that not a thing? Okay.
Maybe. Try putting coal on the build bar. See that. That makes sense.
There's no like dragging and dropping it out of your inventory or something.
Dropping things with your hands. What kind of peasant are you?
You just put it in a chest and then you put down a grabber to place
You
it
put
on
on
the
a
ground.
chest, and then you put on a grabber to take things out of the chest. We're not savages.
Can I like put down a grabber to take things out of my ass? Because like, Jesus. Also, I'm going to briefly leave you to like wrestle with this problem yourself. If I need to go and get some more water, my voice is starting to get a bit croaky.
Can't actually place them under it. Making things. Do carry on.
BRB.
What is it? Christ, it's too fun. to blood.
I return.
Pretty late. Do you think we should maybe like sleep at some?
I got out of bed at like 4 p.m. today.
Christ, it's a novel strategy.
Sleep patterns. When you don't need to be awake at any specific time, they just kind of wander after given sort of long enough.
It's still no good. Pipe.
Also, I think if we're going to go with this arrangement, it might be more efficient to... Oh no, wait, you built in the correct distance apart. I didn't count tiles, right? Or like you put one conveyor belt between this sort of like pair of triple boiler arrangements, and then that feeds like all 6 of those boilers off of one like branch.
There's space for 2 steam.
That is what I'm curious about.
Screwed over with this iron core again. It's 1 too far. Correct that.
At this point, that's seeming like the easier solution.
Actually. The iron is not being consumed fast enough, I think. So I'll just carry some iron.
You are backed up on iron ore, so it's not a huge deal.
The hundreds of iron ore in my like an extractor box. The iron. Okay. A bit of extra space available. We can throw engines. Pylons.
The suffering. Okay, I like the look of that arrangement. You can just sort of duplicate it further up the coast when we next need more power.
I have a major problem with this arrangement.
Hmm?
It takes an abundance of pylons to power all the grabbers.
Oh, I am seeing that now. Just one like south of the boilers and one.
No,
north
hold
of the
on.
boilers.
The one on the right is unnecessary. Oh, okay, that's actually very elegant. Never mind. I like this arrangement a lot. Right, we now have 1 extra steam engine. There we go. And place. Need an additional. If we put it there, it'll connect those 2 places. Okay, and then we just need to connect up a coal feed, and these 4 boilers in the north can take over while we extend to the south.
There is one problem I can see arising with the current setup. Is that going to be able to get enough coal into that little sort of 3-tile conveyor belt area?
A fast picker, I think so.
Okay. As long as a fast picker can handle it, then it'll be fine. But if it can't, then some kind of more elaborate solution would be needed.
No, that
I don't
ruins
like
the
the idea.
pylon setup. Disastrous.
Suffering.
Weird how the offshore pumps don't require any source of energy at all. The other major annoyance is I have to go all the way around it in order to operate on the damn thing. Oh well.
More than the jetpack.
Okay, how should we split the coal stream?
Well, basically, you want another sort of fast picker pulling off the main cold stream to feed like the current setup.
I'm going to use a splitter instead.
Okay.
As far as I know, splitters are unpowered, which is...
That is another thing in their favour, certainly.
Major advantage. And it means I can make it.
Does it work just replacing the old one with it? No, you have to move the thing and then replace it. Okay.
Habit of accident dragging air belt side. Air belt. It's getting annoying.
I believe the only solution to that is to get good.
It probably is, to be honest. Okay, it looks like our fast grabber is whirling away. We are getting a surfeit of coal. Takes a little while for every boiler to have coal in it, but every boiler is now running.
Yeah, it takes like more coal to get them warmed up, doesn't it? So hopefully it'll calm down.
We have a massive surplus of electricity production, which... Actually, that's probably why the engines are running so slow, because there's more electricity than...
Oh, I see that it's not running at full tilt, because we don't need to run at full tilt. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense where the production bar goes down on the electric network info as it provides more power, because we've got surplus. Now, you can either leave the current sort of southern mess of power things, or you can move it up to the top in a more efficient layout.
Well, my plan is simply to replicate the layout going south, and I'll use the other half of the splitter. So again, this is a case where I do want a splitter because I'm splitting things into exact parts.
Ah, I see.
Though that does leave me with a box full of coal that's not going anywhere. I know. I'll just reverse this grabber on the left, and then bring this conveyor around to the right and split it. Wait, no, that's not gonna... I'll figure something
out. We can deal with the box full of coal later. We can just, like, cut out the little man box full of coal.
Right now I actually have enough power. And then some, really.
We were only getting low on power when we decided to start doing this net.
We'll figure out expansion later.
Okay.
For now I'm going to create our copper cable producer and then go to sleep.
That's a sensible thing to do. Humans do require sleep.
It's an unfortunate necessity.
Could get so much more stuff done otherwise.
True, but then if everyone could do it, it wouldn't be special.
I suppose.
My assemblers. There they are.
Did you not use them all?
They're on my quick use bar.
Ah.
I can sense that creating things that I already have, because they're not where I'm problem is.
As your inventory and toolbar get like larger and larger, it's easy to get them lost in the mess of icons.
Okay, so this is going to be a straightforward reaction, I think.
Much simpler than what we've just been doing, because there's no space constraints or awkward ratios. It's just copper goes in, wire comes out. Copper wire is now on the white main trunk.
Needs to be a little further. Oh, I'm actually running out of iron plates.
Go
Oh,
pick
yeah,
some up
shit
off the
tons.
end of the conveyor belt. Because we've got a surplus coming in.
Not exactly the most elegant method, but
Well, if you really wanted, you could put like a chest at the end of your conveyor belt and
hold
have
on.
that fill up.
These conveyors are just doing nothing except picking fine plates. Let's remove them. Same here for plates and coal.
You do have a few excess conveyor belts here and there, but I decided not to bother, like,
Yeah,
nitpick on this,
there's
that,
no
and
point
the
getting
other.
too worried about it, but when you need some resources, you may as well take a chance to pick them up. Okay?
Very true. At least not one part or something.
Let's do that.
Plus, like, if and when you come to the stage where you want to expand the production of these things, those conveyor belts will be seeing use there anyway.
That's right. Right the first time. I suppose perhaps a more efficient option would have them travel right next to each other, except for when you need to separate them and then have them travel apart. That'd be a bit more condensed. It would be a lot less elegant to look at.
And it would be a lot more case by case. If you have
Yeah.
them all right next to each other, you'd have to, like, shuffle the entire stack further down whenever you want to get something. I don't know. I don't like the idea of the trunk like suddenly expanding and shrinking in width multiple times. It should only grow, and it should grow at fixed increments.
It should. I mean, it won't actually cause any problems if it expands and collapses again. It'll just be really ugly, and it'll end up making a bunch of knots and other structures we avoid. Cable.
I simply can't think of a reason that it would like cause problems. You're also not powering one of those grabbers.
I've fixed that, yeah.
Good.
Switch the pylons around. Somewhat less ugly setup, but beautiful. And there we go. Let's take out these ugly trees. Daring to grow. And I think that'll do for this stream. It's a pretty impressive factory, if I say so myself.
It looks like it's already beginning to become a thing that satisfies OCD on a like mass scale.
I like that summary of the game in general. It satisfies OCD on a mass scale.
Well, you know, you can have like one or two like neatly aligned things, and that's nice. But like having a huge complex of like interconnected systems that are all neatly aligned and helping each other out correctly is a very different level of satisfying.
Yes. Yes, I think I agree. It's been a pleasure playing with you.
It's been entertaining to backseat game through this.
What can I say? People object to backseat gaming, I think, strictly necessary.
It probably depends on context. You know, it's not like you're here playing like an RPG and I'm like, oh yes, you need to know that this guy is about to die, so you should take all of the gear off him.
Yeah, I think this is a game that's actually quite well suited to a sort of two-player, like a sort of architect and developer.
I don't know if it would even work with multiplayer.
Because otherwise what I'd be doing is stopping. It does have a multiplayer setting. I believe Vector Alpha guys run a server. So,
I also don't know whether that would be a good idea, because I can imagine two people interacting with that beast and it just becoming completely out of control. See what I mean?
Discord, what the fuck is streamer mode?
It's what you should apparently be using because you're like totally a Twitch streamer, man.
I assume it just automatically does it as soon as Open Broadcaster is